Oh.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome once again to Chalice, Twilight Roads, and the Initiative Order. I am always, as always, Ben. Just quietly despairing that these people still exist. But it's all right because we can change.
Sorry.
So
Ben, jeez.
Jump on in and see how things are inevitably going to go wrong for everyone. Let's run around and meet the poor people that have to put up with me. We're going to start with whomever is next to me in my screen here, because I can't see the stream. We're going to go with Billy.
Oh, hey. Hello. No, I'm looking up. I need to look down. Hello, I'm Billy. I am playing Subil today, and hopefully in the future, I guess we'll kind of find out. Last I remember, currently I am chasing my war hero of a pigeon that might also be a traitor. So I think this is going to be an interesting.
Most definitely is. We've been telling you this.
He's a traitor.
I'm fed up with lying anymore. It's a bloody traitor.
You can't prove it. We will find out, okay? I'll be heartbroken.
We're going to find out.
Be sorry.
We're going to find out that he's a traitor.
We've been alive for 45 seconds.
And it's all kicked off.
Personally apologise to anyone who's wearing earphones.
Apologies.
On that.
Sorry.
We are terrible
We
people.
get really heated about pending, okay?
I get very heated.
It's a sore topic.
It hurts to think about.
Jago, introduce yourself, sir.
Hi there, I'm Jago. I am the least problematic person here, and I like dice. I figured that would get a laugh out of people. I'm playing Jack Hooper, and apparently I've got plants in my face in not a fun way, so that'll be a problem for another day. But yeah, heisting time. Let's go heisting.
Another day today. It's going to be a problem.
Yeah.
Lynn, who are you?
Oh, sorry, I misheard. You're just making noises. Hi, I'm Lynn. I play Cecily Marshall, the alchemist, who's very good at gluing people back together, but not very good at running away from things.
Fair. I mean, you've been doing a very good job of running away from your problems.
Oh, yeah,
Holly.
yeah. But that's the one thing.
Hi, I'm Holly. I play Edlynnne Castron. She says she's a fighter. Can't fight for shit, yet apparently doesn't own a cafe. They're so good at making coffee that I wouldn't be surprised if she had a cafe at one point, honestly.
We all
Early
need
planning stage.
We all need a side hustle, Holly.
Yeah, that's Edlynnne. She owns a cafe on the side.
Early planning stages.
Yes,
Let's get to the sign now.
That's what she's doing right now, yeah.
Yeah.
And back from the last time when we ran without them, Max. Who are you?
Hi, I'm Max. I'm playing Jules, and I'm going to try and do the accent again.
Yeah, we've missed the accent.
Good luck.
I had to do it last week.
Oh, was it good? Oh, was it good? Was it juicy?
Yeah,
I need to hear
quite
it.
impressive.
Put it this way.
I mean, I can't do it, but...
Yeah. And as usual, I am Ben. I am everyone else these people meet in their game. And as they will hopefully learn this evening, if nothing else, I am the Lord of Lies.
Ooh.
Someone spent a long time on that.
He didn't even know what to say it. He said it.
It's default stance.
Like I said, I picked very specifically this week.
It's better than lanky leprosy that I came up with.
I wish.
And on that, into our introduction, please.
We need behind the scenes
Hello and
cuts.
welcome back.
Oh,
No,
boy.
there will be no behind the scenes cuts. No one needs to see that. I would not dare inflict that on anyone.
It'd be dangerous knowledge.
It's the best
It would
part.
be.
I do,
No.
love,
Best part.
No.
I do like how when we do come back, it's usually us just giggling.
Yeah.
We're just giggling.
And being
It's
told
like,
off by Ben.
Yeah.
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 I will have you know, Lynn, I have never giggled a day in my life.
You all
I
just
fully
went
believe.
I literally
I don't
went
believe
deaf
that.
for like a good 2 seconds because I didn't hear any of it.
No.
No. Method
Right.
acting to an extreme today with Edlynnne. Let's go.
Evidently. I mean, you never know. You might elect the giggle out of me when I hear whatever excuse of a recap you guys throw in my direction this evening. So, for a lovely, juicy void point,
Do I want a void point? No, I don't want a void point. Void point scare me.
who can tell me what happened last week?
I can try if no one else wants to.
Lynn, if you do this
volunteered.
good, Lynn, if you do this good, you're allowed back in Castron Cafe.
Okay. Well, unless Max wants to do it.
No, I
No.
know.
Come on, Max. I know you
Definitely
want
do
to.
No.
Okay. Right. Have you started the timer?
Maybe.
Of course he has. Of course he
Okay,
has.
right, fine. So we start off in the warehouse. Derek's corpse is on the floor. We notice that it's been ripped from like nape of neck to small of his back, and there are like black stones around it. And we're like, okay, we'll just leave him there. And then we go to an alchemist. I think. Well, actually, why do I have Derek's corpse in here? Anyhow, we're in an alchemist's. Sybil goes upstairs. He finds the world's most complicated coffee machine. Has a little bit of a breakdown trying to make coffee. Eddie's downstairs. She's in the shop. She's sort of thinking about how badly she performed, considering she's meant to be fighting and she's not very good at it right now. But she overhears a paperboy outside yelling about a criminal ring being broken down, which she assumes is the oil lantern, some criminals being transformed, and something happening in Sparrowfall. Tells us all to be quiet. Cecily glues everyone back together. In doing so, she finds out that like Jack's got weird vines growing in his veins that wiggle when you try and yank them out with tweezers. And Eddie goes upstairs to help Sybil make coffee. Eddie finds out it's a wishing coffee machine. She's used these a million times before. She makes us all the best coffee that we have ever drunk.
Welcome, guys. Welcome.
Sybil
Thank
shows Eddie
you.
a shipping manifest with regards, and which is in Talisian, which gives us some information about local courier services. Possibly we can hijack one of their carts or hitch a ride with them. After that comes an intensive planning session, trying to figure out how we're going to get Sam back. I think the plan is to release pending, follow pending, try and get a meeting with Juliana. Other than that, try and spring Sam when he's like mid-transportation from the boat to the Canehurst estate. Jules goes and buys his newspaper so we can get a few more details on what's going on in the world. She also returns with some bread. Cecily gets really high with Kurt, and she's currently asleep in a corner. And we left with Sybil, Eddie, and Lottie following pending to Juliana at the end.
I mean, that was pretty good. That was pretty
good.
That was
You're allowed back
probably-
in Castron Cafe.
I'd say that's the best one we've ever had, to be honest.
I don't need
It
a
was the
void
most
point. I'm back in
concise.
the, actually, no, I do need a void point, but I'm also
Yeah,
back in the
don't turn a
cafe.
void point down.
In the cafe, yeah, you're good.
Don't tempt fate like that.
I mean, technically it was 2 minutes and 2 seconds.
Oh, come on.
You didn't say when you started.
Yeah, you didn't give her the like.
Mm.
You didn't say like
Point
20
me at the
seconds ago.
stream where I've actually told you when I've started.
Yeah, but you usually said it's been like 10 seconds
Yeah,
already.
you usually
Normally I
let me know
You
how
can
it-
account for
Yeah,
that,
so
you know?
really,
Yeah.
this is like your. Yeah, really, you just didn't give us
Yeah.
give it adequate time.
Yeah.
I
I
think
would
it's
try
looking for
begging, but I
something.
know it won't work.
So what I'm hearing is she did
Oh,
it
he flipped the coin.
in 1 minute and 50 seconds.
Heads or
Because you've got to
tails?
account for that 10 seconds delay.
Tails.
Yeah, go on then.
I so thought Ben was going to do that. I am looking around for the fucks to give, and I can find none. Thing.
In fairness, tell me what's heads and tails on that coin, and we'll
I can't even
discuss
see.
that.
It's a round metal thing.
I have
It's
flipped the
something.
coin and it's landed on bullshit.
That's a trick question. Bullshit. Secret third option.
Well, on that point then, we return Does house hurt? Initially, we come to see the remainants of your group. Everyone barring Lottie, Subil, and Edlynnne, still within the bubbling brew, watching as their companions charge out the back door, chasing Pending out into the streets. What they're doing is fairly evident at this point, as you watch them just disappear into an alleyway and start trying to climb up a small selection of crates that have been kind of lined up ready, making their way onto one of the nearby rooftops. But what of the rest of you? What is your plan? What do you wish to do?
Well, we had an area of town we planned on meeting in.
You did. You have sent the message. I believe the exact wording was swim down to dusk.
Yeah, it was the dusk.
You're heading to Dusk Town, I believe, was your initial decision.
That was the one. Yeah. So we gotta go get a boat. So let's go. Because Kurt had a guy who we could probably get a boat from. I remember him saying that.
Said he might be able to arrange something, yes.
Yeah. So we're going off that assumption.
Who's going with you then? Is it just you and Kurt, or are you all heading away?
Cecily's currently unconscious, kind of where Max and Eli are just, out for the count.
Fair.
On heist day?
Is it just you then? It sounds like it's just you.
I can go with you.
All right, yeah, let's go. Let's
I can go
leave
with you,
her
yeah.
alone. Oh no, wait, she got the two boys. She got the two boys.
I got the boys.
Yeah.
All right, she got the boys. That's fine. Fuck, it's all gonna be fine.
Are we fine?
Thanks for letting me
Fine.
sleep, guys.
All right. Yeah.
We could. Do we want to wake up Cecily?
Yeah.
No.
Yes.
You have this
everyone back
conversation
together. I got.
as Kurt himself kind of very unsteadily stands, having been enjoying the same smokes that have put Cecily where she is now. He just kind of leans on the wall. All right. We need to... standing. Yeah, that wasn't a good idea. We need to head to Dawn Docks, I think.
Dusk.
No, you want a boat, don't you?
Yes.
Yeah, we need to head to Dawn Docks.
Okay.
That's the opposite side of the town. We can't
you
fuck
were
up.
saying we were told Dusk Town.
Yeah.
So Dawn Docks is.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with you. Okay, we got this. You know that. You know the city.
The exact thing you said was you need a boat.
Yes.
I can get you a boat in Dawn Dock.
Right.
Do you want to know the great thing about boats?
Yes, they can move. Okay, let's go.
Yeah, they can move.
Noted.
It's
Sarcasm
kind of
noted.
their entire purpose, really.
Sarcasm noted.
And now you see why Edlynnne's never liked Kurt.
Just in case, he kind of leans back on the wall, just reaches into his pocket and pulls out a small kind of slip of paper and starts scribbling something down on it, using one of the pens that had been left out on the side. If things go a bit wrong, he just kind of folds it up. He passes it over to whichever one of you kind of wants to take it.
You take it.
Sure. Okay.
Just,
Got it.
Take a look over that.
What does it say?
It just has the word fuck on it. And he just kind of looks at you as he walks out the door. Be careful, it's the last one I got.
That was so elaborate.
I thought you were offering. Before we go, there was that invitation to the thingy to Florence Black's lecture.
Correct.
I'm going to pinch that.
Okay.
If Cecily hasn't already pinched it.
I believe she took the vials, but not the letter.
Take the invite. You can,
fuck it. We're taking the whole thing. Let's go.
Okay.
It's
including
quite-
the nice
quite a-
box it came in.
It's quite a large ornamental box.
The whole thing is. Motherfucker.
You're not taking the box, are you? You're just taking the letter.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Is there just a letter there?
Yeah, you can just take the
Yeah.
letter.
Yeah, just take the letter. That's all I need.
I was going to say, there are elaborate invitations, and I have carved this invitation into the surface of this incredibly expensive box.
I was gonna say, what the fuck? That is bougie, and then there's bougie.
You
Yeah.
take up the letter, and the two of you follow on after Kurt, heading out into the streets. Meanwhile, as you take your leisurely stroll down to Dawn Docks, Subil, Edlynnne, and Lottie, the air pulling in and out of your lungs at a rate of knots as you start bolting after Ending, who is going at full speed away from your location. You start sailing towards a small series of crates that have been left out onto the side, jumping onto the top of them to try and clamber up a small wall to try and keep that line of sight access. I need each of you to make me a agility athletics check, please.
Hold on, I forgot to get my dice ready because.
Your dice are forfeit. I own them now.
No, fuck off my dice, man. Not all of my dice. That's not my dice.
Instead of following Lottie up to the rooftops, because I'm very aware that she is very proficient with rooftop jumping and Assassin's Creeding. I am not so much. However, I do know the alleys fairly well, being a street kid. So instead, could I follow her through the alleys and follow Lottie, keeping an eye on her on the rooftops rather than following Pending?
Yeah, that's no trouble.
Can I just follow Subil then? Because I'm scared that if I make Edlynnne do this, she's just going to fail. As she normally
Absolutely
does.
fine.
No pressure.
You leave. So, just to make you aware, then you are leaving the actual tracking of Pending wholly down to Lottie in that case.
Actually, no. In that case, I will go on the rooftop as well.
Because you're just following her.
Presumably, Pending is going to be heading in. I mean, is flying, so isn't going to be doing too many curves or directions. So Pending's going to be heading in one general direction for a majority of the flight, I imagine. And even then, I'm going to be weaving in and out of alleys, so I'll presumably keep getting sight back of Pending, but in terms of just a direct following of Pending, I'll follow Lottie instead. So I'll go in a general direction, keeping an eye mostly on Lottie, but I'm still going to be able to see Pending weaving in and out of the alleys just a lot less than if I would be on the roofs. That's my logic, at least.
Yeah, it is definitely a solid plan. The one thing I will say is as this is a city, Pending is far from the only pigeon in the skies.
I know my bird.
To be in the safe side, I'll also go on the roof because if we fuck up, we can blame it on me and not Lottie.
Absolutely fine. In that case, then, Edlynnne, if I can get you to make an agility athletics check, please, difficulty 2, and we'll just get Subil, same thing, difficulty 1, though.
Okay.
Just
if it was agility, so don't fuck me up.
Oh, okay.
It did not fuck me up. 2 passes.
Wonderful.
I got 1 pass.
That's all you needed. So for the first kind of leg of your journey, Lottie and Edlynnne just charge on up those crates, leaping onto the roof, sending tiles just trailing down onto the ground beneath them, and start just kind of taking off over the rooftops as quickly as they can. Small gaps and crevices between the buildings cause you very little upset as you just jump from one to the other, rolling with the worst of it as you move. As Lottie's going, of course, she's still carrying her rifle with her. So there's you moving just at breakneck speed and her kind of keeping one arm just locked into the side as she grips the rifle with kind of white-knuckle determination.
Well, surely I'm doing the same to my sword, unless I did pick up... I think I've actually picked up a holder for it as well. I can't really remember.
I don't believe there were any scabbards for them.
Yeah, I don't think there was a scabbard stuff. I'm guessing I think I'm doing the same with my sword because I couldn't remember.
Yeah, you're just kind of gripping it in place.
Yeah.
As the two of you just charge over the rooftops, you kind of glance down every now and then. You catch sight of Subil just weaving in and out of the alleyways as quickly as he can. You two are genuinely just about avoiding notice, and if anyone has picked up on it, you are not aware. Sybil has distinctly not gone unnoticed, but is being treated more as a madman running through the streets than anyone that's worth paying attention to.
That's the vibe I usually go for. Lean into
Ironically
it.
enough, they get ignored a lot, madman. So
True.
As you're running, though, it's either up to you, Edlynnne. You can either make the following insight survival check, or Lottie can. It is difficulty 2 to keep moving and still track pending properly.
Orienteering? Could that help, potentially? No?
Orienteering would help, yeah.
Okay, before I say I'll do it, what's her combined insight survival? Do I get to know this?
Yeah, well, you can get a rough idea. It'd be she is a target number of 13 with a crit rating of 3.
That's better than me, so maybe she does it, because I've got a total of 11 with a crit rating of 2.
Okay.
So, can I assist, though?
You can certainly assist.
I'll assist.
lead the way, NPCs. Then we can blame it on Ben.
Blame it on me anyway.
True.
Blame it on the person actively trying to cause us chaos. Yeah, that sounds like a real effective plan.
How'd you do there, Holly?
I got a 14, so not a pass from me.
You do your best to kind of keep track of pending, and at one point you see him literally dive into a small flock of pigeons going the other direction. You lose him amongst it as they kind of break off and start splitting away. Some going in one direction, others the opposite, and you just have no way of knowing which is which. As you kind of slow for a second trying to track them, Lottie comes to a dead halt next to you for a couple of moments, glances up, watches the two, and then just bolts after the left.
I guess we'll follow. Hopefully she's picked up the right bird. Yes.
You can only hope. You follow on swiftly afterwards. Of course, the same below Subil, you kind of keep running. At one point, you do lose track of the birds, the people, everything. Eventually, as you move, you do pick up line of sight on them again, seeing them, as I say, as they hit this kind of momentary halt before twisting and just inclining off to the left slightly.
Okay.
You continue tracking them as best you can. Can you get another check from all of you, please? Same difficulty as last time.
Is it agility athletics again, yeah?
Agility athletics.
That was 2 passes again, so it seems to like it when I do athletic stuff this just did.
7. So 2 and a 10, so 1 success again.
That's all you needed. As a group, you managed to keep pace, eventually making your way down through the worst of Chapel Market, past the Dawn Docks themselves, and just edging closer and closer towards Old Town. As you go, you see Pending cross over the river.
Oh, fuck.
Leading you to the moment where you kind of stop. Especially, more precisely, both Edlynnne and Lottie, you kind of reach the edge of one of the buildings, seeing that just dropping to the street below, and then maybe 15 feet further is the river itself.
And there's no hay bells or anything. We can't just.
No.
Hear an eagle's pigeon's cry.
It's not an eagle. It's like a dragon scream that Edlynnne will be doing.
Would you like me to void point in a hay bale for you?
Okay.
That'd be pretty chill.
But yeah, unfortunately, you kind of reached the end, and at this moment, Lottie and Edlynnne, you stop, as I state, and glance down. You see Subil kind of emerge from the alleyway next to you. All of you just kind of keeping your lungs moving as best you can. Can I get a brawn resilience check from each of you, please, as you've been literally breaknecking this? It's going to be difficulty
you're good at
2.
How many injuries do I have? Oh, I was so close to the complication. Oh.
How'd you do?
I got 1 pass and I was 1 away from a complication because I've still got shell shock, so I was like, I rolled 18. If I was 19, I would have cried.
I'm doing great.
Subil?
I got 1 fail and 1 crit, so just go
You're
through that.
absolutely fine. Sybil, you kind of keep your breath. You're not too feeling the worst of it. Unfortunately, Edlynnne, run over the rooftops was a lot more strenuous than kind of trying to keep pace below. At least that's how it feels to you. You gain a point of fatigue.
She's just out of shape. She hasn't been training in a while. That's fine.
Sprinting over rooftops in armor is not fun.
Could I?
She doesn't actually. She doesn't have armor. It's the fishing gear she's wearing that's making it hard.
That's it.
It's just really heavy fishing gear.
I mean, also the fact that most use metal now.
Yeah, true. We could just blame it on that. I'm mostly metal.
Could I throw in something as well? Would we get any kind of roll advantages from the fact that about 10 minutes ago we were drinking coffee?
As much as I am a deep believer in the rejuvenating power of coffee.
Not even the best made coffee to ever exist in the whole of Chalice.
Literally, it was high quality.
It was amazing.
She put her heart and soul into making
coffee, wasn't it?
this wishing. Yeah, she put her heart and soul into making this wishing coffee, which was like the best thing ever.
Made in a really fancy alchemist kit as well.
Yeah, how that works.
You may be confusing coffee with cocaine or speed, but you know.
Then that's literally wishing in coffee. Is cocaine speed.
Sugar.
Sugar.
As I say, though, you reach this point, kind of edging just on the southernmost portion of the Dawn Docks. You can see the river running out into the open kind of central sea, as it were, and Dusk Docks on the far side, as well as Old Town. Your only option is to, unfortunately, climb down the buildings and make your way across the bridge, or try and think of something smarter, as you see Pending pass over the bridge, heading straight into Old Town. Meanwhile, leisurely strolling through much of Chapel Market, Jack, Jules, and Kurt, you make your way kind of just merrily along the lines. I say merrily, Kurt is limping quite badly to the point that he's quietly borrowed a walking stick from a passing stall without much notice, and the two of you are just kind of moving in behind them. Mostly yourself, Jack, you're starting to feel the worst of the kind of painkillers wearing off. And as much as the repairs have been made and your face is slowly kind of knitting itself back together, and you are worryingly aware of this slight pulsation to the right side of your mouth as things re-knit for you. As you walk, Kurt takes you to one side as you kind of start to reach Chapel Market itself to loop around down into the Dawn Docks. Just kind of quietly bids you over to an alleyway. Right. It might be best if I go on myself at this point.
Okay.
Not to put too fine of a point on it, but
we stand out.
Well, that and you're wanted criminals.
Yeah.
With faces on posters all over town.
Yeah.
At least one of you.
Yeah.
Right, go.
And you know, not to put too fine a point on it, you're not very good at remaining.
No, we're not.
Yeah.
I'm great at it. Absolutely. Not so much him.
Just
no, that's fair.
Quick question. Obviously, Jack's had a massive facial injury. Is he slightly less recognizable now that he's got all this scarring, or is he still pretty? If people have seen the poster,
it's still fairly distinctly him. He does now have obviously quite a lot of scar tissue over to the right hand side of his face, but the downside to that is it's still the rest of him is normal.
Yeah.
So it's not going to be a large leap of logic for anyone seeing him to kind of make the assumption of who he is. But at this point, you're kind of, as I say, resting in an alleyway that leads straight down to the Dawn Docks itself. And Kurt continues, if you want to come with me, you can, but you know, do your best to be quiet.
What's the likelihood that shit's going to go awry?
Oh, the guys owe me a favor. And, you know, toss a coin. Okay. My belief, at the very least, is that they shouldn't turn on me for no apparent reason. But, you know, a lot of people in our circles are known to trust coin more than they are to trust people, and well, you got quite the bounty on your body.
Yeah, so we don't. Yeah. Yeah. We won't show our faces.
You've been doing a stellar job of that so far.
And
It's his big personality.
That may be the case.
Get it? Because you grow big.
yeah, I'll follow the joke.
Not the rat time. I feel like it was the rat time.
Sorry. Too soon.
Yeah, too soon.
Look. He just reaches into his pocket and pulls out the same purse that Jules had borrowed from earlier on.
Oh, you told me this was your last fuck.
Yeah. He pulls out a few more coins. There's Freddie. And he hands them directly to Jules. Take that and the rest you borrowed from me. Go out, get that man a change of clothes.
Right, you are.
Be a big hood.
I'll be back as quickly as I can. But, don't. It's a marketplace. I'm sure there's only so much trouble you can cause, right?
Yeah.
I'll do my best. I will do my best. Right, let's go shopping. I can't wait. This is literally, I've been trying to do it for hours.
At which point he turns in place and just makes his way down the alleyway, disappearing from view quite rapidly, and leaving the two of you just at Chapel Market.
George, are you sure I should fucking come along? Just
I will. What I'll do... Yeah, I know. What I'll do is I've heard some glasses and like some kind of like hat to kind of go over. Blends you right in. So what I'll do is I'll go get you that first, and then I'll come get you, and then we'll go like proper hunting for some. I'm feeling like stretchable clothes. That's what I'm feeling. If you're getting whatever, so maybe what's good elastic? Maybe an elastic belt. Oh, I've got so many ideas. And she just walks away. She's got out like a pen and paper and just starts writing. She's having a great time. This is the only time she's had like downtime.
You're not wrong.
We had our girls' night in. Come on.
Yeah, true. And she loved that.
That was last night.
I'm still waiting for a girls' night. Honestly, I want to be part of the next girls' night. Just saying.
I'm doing one by. I'm going round. I'm doing the works. I'm going around one by one.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
Subil, you're last.
Feel left out.
You make your way out around the marketplace, just smiling, getting people ready, doing your best. Well, you. What exactly do you want to try and pick up for him?
So my idea is trying to get
kind of
a flat cap, but with an adjustable, one of those popper things at the back that increases for changing, adjusting. Just have that, so that when he gets into like a big scary thing, he can just turn around and proper chat it.
Wait, so you mean Ash Ketchum from Pokemon?
Yeah, I was gonna say
literally.
Pokemon.
I also want some glasses that like old people do. They've got kind of that kind of string. I say old people. My flatmate who's 20 has them. The string to turn it into a necklace. I also want that as well. Just so that when he does get big, he's got kind of like, he doesn't break them.
I'm Peaky Blinders thing.
Yeah, kind of.
Can you just see the look of regret on Ben's face?
And my next thing is I want something that stretches, so anything kind of elastic based. So if we can have maybe it's some sort of like maybe a jacket or something, like a very heavy trench coat that can grow. Or something.
You should try going to the Chalician cosplay area. I'm sure they have like a Mr. Fantastic suit somewhere you can use.
Okay. Maybe a cloak is probably a better idea.
So
So I'm a flat cap, glasses with a necklace, a cloak of some sort, and probably some kind of elastic pants because I don't want to see a schlong.
Out of all of those things, the least important thing that you sounded like you needed was pants, and the most important thing was a hat.
Yes!
Priorities, man!
His face is everywhere.
You've been watching too much Peaky Blinders.
Yes, but that's not the point. Okay.
Are you also wanting razor blades in that hat?
I was going to say.
The answer before you continue is no.
That is fair. That's fair.
Right. In which case, then, I'm going to need you to make a will persuasion check with a focus in charm.
Focus in
shopping.
Charm.
This is more to get everything.
Do we have any momentum?
Okay.
Yeah.
Do we have any momentum?
Yes, you generated 2 from the running over the rooftops.
I'm going to use the momentum. I don't even care. with charm.
With charm, it is going to be. So, it is going to be difficulty. We're going to say just 2.
Difficulty 2. Well, that's pretty easy because my charm's quite high. So that is 1 pass, 1 fail. I got 1 more, and a 3, which is my charm. So that is 3 passes.
Wonderful. So you generate 1 momentum, and you spend a good kind of half an hour to 45 minutes schmoozing your way through. Is the best way I can think of describing it. Charming and winking at the right people, and at the end of that time, you step back away carrying not a single coin on your person.
Yeah. Shit.
But everything you wanted.
Okay. I'm gonna make a list if that's okay, and then I'll come back with you with what I bought if that's okay.
Okay, I'll allow you to have your dress up scene for Jack.
This is amazing. I love this game.
Meanwhile,
God,
this is what Max has been waiting for.
We had coffee shops last week. This week we have shopping. Honestly, Ben, Chalice is turning into like a teenage girl's dream right now.
Yeah, I'm slowly aware. Don't worry. Meanwhile, near the edge of the bridge, not too far away, we come back to Edlynnne, Lottie, and Subil. Pending is still spreading his wings, heading over to Old Town. You either need to climb down and give chase through the streets, or come up with something.
I feel like climbing down and giving chase in the streets is maybe the best option, unless, I don't know, Lottie can somehow fucking yeet herself over the river onto another rooftop. I doubt she can, so I say climbing down is our best bet.
There's parkour masters than this Jesus.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
On it. There'll be some rope.
thinking of like clotheslines or something. Yeah.
A passing boat. I would just fucking Tars. No, I say climb. I'm saying climb down and just give chase.
There are boats on the water.
How wide is the river? Or how wide is the distance between?
It's a good amount of distance. About 50.
Okay.
No, not without significant skill at the very least.
Yeah, Edlynnne doesn't have that. Oh god, yeah, no.
The river itself is about 30-40 meters in width. It's a big river.
Big boy. I'm saying at least Edlynn's gonna climb down and run because I doubt I can get her to pass another athletic check to jump onto boats and parkour her way through.
Absolutely fine. In which case, can I get you to make a agility athletics check, just difficulty 1, to kind of quietly clamber your way down?
If I fuck this up, I'm actually gonna cry. Phew, I didn't fuck it up. That's just the 1 pass. I got scared, then I saw a 15, and I saw a 6, and I really thought that was going to be like a 16. I was like, don't do it to me. It's fine.
Easily done. You clamber on down with Lottie accompanying you as well, making your way quickly down to where Subil is, as you still see Pending disappearing off into the far distance, becoming more of a small dot on the skyline at this point.
literally just gonna say we should start running.
If I remember right from last session, the end of last session, it was the final plan was established that me and Lottie would be running after Pending, and we did so in a hurry, and it was a last-minute decision by Edlynnne to join us. So I still have no idea that Edlynnne is with us.
Look, Kurt was pissing me off, and one of us, mainly me, was gonna get their ass handed to them. Okay. I honestly just try to save myself from dignity here.
So at this point, I'm going. Pending's going. What?
Just go off the pending. Go off the pending. Go off the pending.
Pending. Okay. Let's go. Why are you here? Okay, fine.
As you go to run, you just notice just next to you, Lottie turns, glances through the little alleyway you're in, very begrudgingly takes her rifle and flings it back onto the roof.
Okay. I mean, weapons are illegal here, so...
She nods at that and then bolts.
Oh god, I really hope that she's not going to make me pay for that. I'm going to run after her. Well, after her, but who's running after her?
Never afford it.
If Lottie's front her weapon, I'll throw my sword and just chase after them as well.
You also
I can make another one. I can make another one, it's fine.
It flies up onto the roof and just nestles there. You can hear the metal clack against the tile, and you just give chase. I need one person to lead again another insight survival check. This is going to be difficulty 3 now to try and actually find Pending.
I have 9 total in that.
I've got 11 total. Again, orienteering, could that help?
Yeah. Like I said, you can have Lottie lead the test.
Oh no, I'll lead this time, so we don't all blame it on you.
Go for it.
Fuck's up. Oh, nat 1! Fuck yeah!
Yes!
Fuck yeah!
Nice. She can spot pigeons from miles away.
Oh,
make coffee. Yes.
Make coffee and spot pigeons. My gosh, she's good at this stuff.
Well, that's 2 successes. In total from your crit, did you get another one?
I got 14, so no. It was just the one for me. But...
Could I assist?
You can assist.
Last minute. Okay. Mm-hmm. That's dice. That's a fail. Sorry. Never mind.
The 3 of you continue just to take off, sprinting through the streets. Edlynnne, you kind of track Pending as best you can. Watching at one point, you fairly sure you make him out as he dives behind a building, literally lowering his altitude. You lose track of him for a moment. As you do, Lottie just taps you on the shoulder and points out where he's gone, just helping you guide your line of sight a little bit more, as she also rolls a crit. So between the 2 of you, which generates you a point of momentum as well, between the 2 of you, you track down Pending rather magnificently. If I can just get an agility athletics check as well from everyone, just difficulty 1.
I can give you a pass and a natural 20 if you like. But
yeah,
I'll give you 2 chaos to ignore it.
So
yeah, that's absolutely fine.
The delay was scary.
How did you do there, Subil?
Double complication.
So I rolled a pass and then a 19. Now I have a mental injury of mine still.
That'll do
that bring down? So is that a complication?
That's a complication as well.
You can give him 2 chaos to ignore it.
How much chaos does it? I'm wondering how much chaos it'll be before Peregrine Falcon just like
You're only 3.
Do I?
Up to you. I need an answer.
No, I'll take the L. I'll take the complication.
Okay. You give chase. The rest of you kind of continuing through the streets, rushing across the bridge, and unfortunately distinctly catching the attention of the Protectorate, who are stationed on either side, as well as patrolling the full length of it. I will allow you, Subil, to make me a quick, we'll call this will stealth check.
Okay.
It's going to be opposed by them. You are making it for the group.
Okay, so I have 10 will, 5 stealth, so 15. Do I take a momentum? Can I take a momentum as well? I mean, how much have we got?
You're more than welcome.
We got 2.
Okay, I'm going to take a momentum for that one, because I really don't want this to go wrong halfway through a chase of a pigeon.
I will say, before you roll...
I just rolled and I got a crit, so I really don't want to give that up.
I was going to tell you what your difficulty is.
Okay.
4.
Shit.
Oh.
So that's all right. So I got a crit and I got a 7, so that's 3 passes, and I still have to roll 1 for momentum.
Yep.
So I can do this. 15 to beat. Okay, here we go.
The odds are in your favor.
The odds are ever in your favor. And that's a 14, so I pass. So that's 4 passes.
Oh, it fucking tried.
So that's a draw.
Go.
That's a draw, yeah.
As you kind of sprint along, you watch one of the guards, and you have this kind of moment. You pass by one, the guard just kind of completely ignores you. You pass by another, the third, a fourth, and they kind of just take you as a bunch of idiots. One shouts at you to slow down as you all pass by. And then as you kind of hit the midpoint on the bridge, walking the opposite direction, there's a single man wearing inquisitorial robes. Slowly making his way down, clutching a small box in hand.
Oh, fuck.
Opens it as he starts walking. You're currently drawing. You can spend a momentum to break the tie.
Yes, please. I think that's I think that's a good plan.
Necessary.
Yeah.
You sprint up to him, spending the momentum, and literally just shoulder barge him as you go past.
Okay.
He spins in place. You watch him let go of the box, and it just spins out of his hand. And you watch as a single crystal flies loosely from it, burning bright in the air. And you, for a moment, Edlynnne, you recognize him.
Yeah.
As the man you saw at the checkpoint earlier, and you see him just kind of stare. My crystal!
Not again!
I was raising my hand to ask if it was my cabbages guy.
Poor guy.
He's so getting fired, man.
He is so done. Oh, he's done.
I'm
The crystal
sorry, dude.
flies over the edge as the rest of you just continue sprinting away. You don't see as he kind of just hits the edge of it, kind of immediately starts looking over, and there's this sad little as it hits the water.
We turn back and see him diving in.
You glance back as you see this man just kind of mounting the edge and jumping in.
I need this job.
Oh my god. I mean, to be fair, how are you going to get hired after you have on your resume fired from the Inquisition?
I don't know what fired from the Inquisition really entails. I mean,
I'm surprised he's still got his job after the last one.
Yeah.
I am. We'll see him again in like 3 towns where he got transferred, and we're just going to cause more chaos.
He got demoted.
Continue running, however. You continue to track pending through the sky, and eventually you see him lower, heading down into the center of Old Town. You keep running, keeping your breath, and as you kind of come to a halt, you see pending swoop down past the roof of the Old Town Protectorate office and fly through the upper window.
No, calm.
This is where the message doesn't even go to Juliana.
Just in the middle of the street, slowly kind of catching your breath and just drawing air back into you as you glance up and just back away slightly. As you can see, the external edges of the building are, of course, readily patrolled. There are 2 protectorates stood at the doors, and the building's doors are wide open. You can see people making their way in and out. And loosely hanging from the rooftops, you can see the flag of both the Inquisition and the Chalician Wardens.
I just wanted to turn to Subil and in a quiet voice just be like, told you he was so fucking against us. This proves it.
He might be a spy, you don't know.
He's not a double fucking agent.
He fucking
He might
betrayed
be.
us.
He-
Betrayed us.
Shh, we don't know that yet still.
Lottie,
What is-
grasping through the mask. Didn't you intend for this to happen? Why are you arguing?
I just,
But he
it's a,
doesn't believe it.
it's a complicated relationship with a pigeon, okay?
No, he fucking betrayed us and you won't accept it.
Shh, watch. Shh, we don't, just what? Just look.
But as I say, from your position, you are right outside the offices. You can see on a small notice board to the right-hand side of the building numerous standing warrants, bounties, and other bits and pieces that are put out there by them, including a single poster with both of your faces on them.
Are they updated to
They
new?
are 100% you, as is true right now.
Yeah.
The only
Yeah.
major difference is the amount of hair that Edlynnne has.
less flesh as well, honestly. More silver on the face.
Fuck. Okay. Of course, it had to happen.
Well, I mean,
Lottie kind of glances over at both of you. What now?
we could always say that we're giving ourselves up and then hope Juliana talks to us.
Well, Juliana might have got the message by now, or is getting the message, so we need to keep an eye and then follow her when she gets out. I say we just hunker down and watch who goes in and out. I mean, they've literally got our faces. Hold a position for now, yeah. If you got any better ideas.
Well, I mean, wherever we go, we've established wherever we go, they're gonna have pictures of our faces, so...
Exactly, so we can't walk into their office.
We could just give up. No, that's too simple. We can't just give
Eddie,
up, so-
you are welcome to walk straight in, but I am going to wait and see.
You're still angry about pending, aren't you? You're still...
I'm always, yeah, of course I am.
Okay, please.
I feel betrayed, okay? Let's just,
We told you from the start.
okay,
Told
let's
you
just
The
wait and see what
entire
happens.
world is just shattered.
Pending's all I have, okay? He was my loyal pigeon until he wasn't.
He was never your loyal pigeon. He
He used to be.
He's never.
Okay, well, if you're
We're just
holding the
gonna
position then,
We're just arguing
We are.
about pending.
where is your... If you imagine the street is laid out for you, most of Old Town is essentially a small maze of differing streets and roads. Two of them are any wider than maybe 5 to 10 meters in any given direction. They are close knit, and the buildings are just kind of piled on top of one another. The Protectorate offices are slightly differentiated from that, as they have a very large courtyard directly behind them. But the front of it is as bluntly in the middle of the street as any other. Your opportunities to hide are fairly difficult. The street isn't wide enough for you to go across the road and assume to not be spotted. There are small stores that line the road in every direction, as well as homes. Men, women, and children make their way along the paths consistently enough to have this endless stream of motion surrounding you. The same with wagons passing up and down the road. The shouts of people, the stink of life. Think very atypical kind of Victorian street, and you're not far off. Small unlit gas lamps pop out of the street at about 5 to 10 meter intervals as well. It's incredibly busy. How do you want to go about being unnoticed?
So, well, you're the smart one, not me, so you decide.
Well, my advantage is I have face in the crowd. So my advantage is I could blend in with a lot of people, but it's not really going to work out for you and Lottie as well. Lottie knows the rooftops. We could try and hide out on a rooftop, go into a back alley, climb up, keep an eye over the courtyard from there. Or it's either hide in plain sight or hide away from all of the people. So, I don't know. It's one or the other. What are we thinking?
I mean, I don't trust myself. I mean, I can't really hide in plain
Lottie
sight.
kind of
I'm
shrugs.
Mostly silver. Flying. I guess rooftops, maybe. At least that'll give us some coverage. I don't know. Either way, I say rooftops.
Unless you and
Lucky
Lottie
shrugs,
go to
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, that's when. Yeah, I mean, Lottie goes to rooftops and you do face, and you hide in the crowd because we've got someone on the ground.
Could I ask, are there any like clothing shops on the street nearby?
A couple, yeah. There's one that's more of a haberdashery, and another which is very much kind of a very clearly workman's gear. You can see very heavy-duty overalls are kind of already stood outside, not so much on dummies, but just wooden sticks.
Yeah.
A little further down, there's also a cleaner's.
Okay. Interesting. Okay. I'm gonna say to Edlynnne, okay, you two head up to the roof and keep an eye on the courtyard. I'm gonna go over to the cleaners and try and swipe a couple of clothes from whoever's fucking cleaning there. Maybe I can blend in a little bit better from all of the rags that I'm currently wearing, because it's not ideal. Might be able to swipe something back from, swiping days.
Okay, yeah, no, that sounds good. Just be careful, Subil, okay? We can't lose anybody else.
Yeah, you too.
Yeah.
Don't fall off the roof.
I'll try not to. I didn't just then, so hopefully I won't now.
I believe in you.
I don't, so I'm glad someone does.
I have one little final nod and then head towards the cleaners, disappearing into the big chunk of the crowd to try and blend in a little.
You split up and go your separate ways, and kind of as you go back into one of the alleyways and start clambering around trying to find a drain pipe, start clambering up, Edlynnne, you just quietly hear Lottie muttering under a breath, "Yeah, Lottie, you be careful too."
I'll just look at Lottie then, just be like, he doesn't like new people. It took him ages to remember my name, but you be careful as well. Honestly, I think you've got more chance of being careful than I have more chance of being careful, so,
You like to talk, don't you?
Look, I'm not good at anything else, alright? I'm not good at anything else. If I'm quiet, the thoughts will come in and I'll start crying. I don't want to do that right now.
She kind of at this point has found a drain pipe and is just kind of holding it, watching you as you go.
I'll just put a hand over my mouth and just be like...
It's a shame.
Oh my god.
If you can just make me a agility athletics check there, please, Edlynnne.
Edlynnne's just now motoring herself and wishing, just being like, for fuck's sake, you're such an idiot, Edlynnne. Just stop talking all the time, jeez. Agility athletics, yeah?
Agility athletics, just difficulty 1, as you're being assisted.
Watch me fuck this up spectacularly.
Climbing up the drain pipe and then just...
Or just starts like sliding down.
I got
because she's metal, so it's like nails down a chalkboard when she slides.
Yeah, that's a pass. That's a pass. I think you could just argue that like my hands wouldn't mold into the metal.
That's true. If it's like metal, could she use it as like spikes?
Yeah. Like I mold into it.
Climb like Wolverine.
As I'm like looking into the crowd, I just look back and just see.
I can't control it.
It's technically making footholds as well. Like,
well, in fairness to you, as you start kind of making your way up again, just clambering up the drain pipe, as you make contact with the metal, you do find that your hand solidifies and links to it. Coming away the next time you move, it actually anchors you at every movement.
I'm fucking Spider-Man, bitch.
only on
metal surfaces,
Iron Man.
Yeah, more.
Iron Man.
As you reach the top, you kind of swing your arm up, and Lottie just reaches down, grabs you, and kind of helps you up. The two of you just kind of move along the top of the roof, and just kind of nestle down, keeping an eye on the Protectorate officers as best you can. From your position, you can see into a couple of the windows on the secondary floor. Unfortunately, the one that Pending entered seems to have been shuttered since. But you can make out the Protectorate inside. as well as you see a man with fairly kind of bright blonde hair tied into a tight ponytail, wearing a pitch black uniform accented with little gold portions and small buttons, making his way to the window next to that and shuttering that as well. You just get a very quick glimpse of him. So
is that like a uniform we've seen before? We have no idea what that means.
Make me a, let's say, reason tactics check, difficulty 1.
Military
tactics will help.
Oh, it will help. Yes. Come on, Edlynnne, do something good for a change.
You made me coffee.
Yeah, true. I can give you a pass and a complication. So I don't know. Edlynnne's just look. We know this. I can roll well, but at the same time roll bad at the same time. I kind of want to give you 2 chaos again, but I'm scared that you're gonna like throw it in my face.
Don't feed him.
No, I'm gonna feed him because I want Edlynnne to have a somewhat good session for once. It's fine. I'm probably gonna be the one who will take the brunt of it anyway later on. So
it's just delaying fate.
Mm-hmm. He closes the windows again, just closes the wooden shutters, and as he does so, you kind of the knowledge just clicks into the back of your mind that that's the uniform of a warden investigator, someone fairly high up in the organization.
One who got the letter. Okay.
They will generally answer directly to the Lord High Warden, who's essentially head of state.
Wow.
And I'd have no idea who the Lord High Warden is, would I? Unless
you would know that the Lord High Warden exists, as he's one of the 9 seats of Chalice, and technically the highest ranking military official in the country, next to the general of the army. But you'll even know his name.
Oh my god. We are so fucked.
Yep.
A little bit.
We are fucked. Okay, cool.
As you kind of
just
see him just close that, and you just breathe in, kind of lock that knowledge away for a moment, you just hear Lottie next to you. Been meaning to ask.
Mm-hmm.
Does Jules ever, expressed a fondness for flowers?
I mean, I haven't known her for that long, but I'm pretty sure that I think she's got something to do with. I think she likes roses, maybe. I think her gun had a symbol of a rose at one point. I'm not sure though. I haven't known her for that long, so.
Red, white.
Maybe both. Again, I'm not too sure. Both could be good. You never know.
Okay. She says, and just kind of continues just to lie down on the rooftop and just watch the building. She doesn't say anything else for a good 30 seconds following that.
That's fine, yeah.
Just imagine you play the whole hand on the chin, legs kicking up.
All I'm saying is that if they get married, I need to be fucking Lottie's best girl because I helped.
You'll be flower girl.
So. Yeah, I'll be flower girl. Yeah, there we go.
We've already got dress designs.
Meanwhile, can I ask Subil, can you make me a quick agility stealth check, please?
Absolutely.
Difficulty 2 to see what you can nick. You said you're going to the cleaners.
Heading for the cleaners. Yeah, I think it'll be a little bit less noticeable than from a shop, or from a 7, 8, 9, 10. So 12 to beat, and difficulty 2. Yeah,
correct.
Lovely. Would facing the crowd wouldn't help me in this? No.
No, we will. We'll say it will.
Yeah.
Considering you're using the mass of people to your advantage here.
So, facing the crowd increased observation tests from other people by 1. So, how would that help my roll in any way? Or
we'll just decrease the difficulty by 1 down to 1.
Down to 1. Okay, fab. That makes me a little better. Still makes me feel awful, but hey, let's try. So that's one success. Hey.
Lucky. You make your way into the cleaners, which isn't so much of a store as just a large assortment of open barrels filled with hot soapy water and taps kind of lining the walls on each side. At the far end, there's a singular desk where a woman is kind of taking coins from people and is pointing them over towards specific basins and taps. And it just seems to be running that way. On kind of one of the far walls, you can also make out a drying rack of just numerous pieces of clothing. You quietly just make your way through the morass of people, bumping into one or two on the way, and just grab a couple of quick bits. You end up with a ostentatious blue cut jacket, which still has this slightly mildewy smell to it. But, you know, it could be a lot worse. You also grab up a thick pair of black wading trousers and a singular kind of white button-up shirt. It's not the best ensemble ever, but hey, it's ill-fitted, it's slightly different sizes in every direction, and you're not entirely sure you know nor want to know what the stain on the white shirt actually is.
Slept in worse.
Exactly. And as you kind of start putting all of that together and making your way back out into the street, over in the market, in the chapel market.
God, everybody's having dress up.
Sybil. Not Sybil, sorry, I do apologise. Jules, what have you picked up for your dear friend Jack?
What I've done is I've got, the farmer's cap, it's checkered grey. I've also got round, tinted, slightly glasses on his face that has a necklace to it, so that he can take it down at any point. He also has a black tank top and a over-the-shoulder woolen jacket that can stretch due to his height and whatever, and very similar to kind of black kind of joggers that can stretch to his. I'm also thinking because he probably won't be wearing any shoes, I'm thinking more socks-wise. But you can get like wetsuit socks, so I'm thinking of something kind of like waterproof, something with a little bit more strength to it, but still has that whatever. And then I have also a green kind of cloak that goes over it so that he can move it around and whatever. What else have I got? Of course, I've got him some like underwear. And I've I take it back. It's not a grey farmer's hat. What I've got is a woolen hat with a bubble at the end.
What?
Yeah, I've taken away the farmer's hat.
That was the one thing I was excited for, the fat cap. God damn it.
I'd be so excited if I got like a woolen hat.
Yeah, I'm thinking a woolen hat. It goes with the aesthetic. Of course, the jacket is kind of a brown that has kind of like elbow patches, I'm thinking. But yeah, that's all hypothetical. I haven't put that much thought into it. I've got a list here if you want me to send you it.
No, I'm just trying to imagine what black joggers, black tank top, like woolen jacket with elbow patches, bobble hat, and
a green cloak.
Socks.
Yeah. I think the aim was to be more subtle than Chalice, and yet somehow we've created a new trend.
It's basically wearing all black apart from a brown jacket, a brown bobble hat, and a green cloak, and a dark green cloak. Sorry.
Decisions were made.
Yeah.
Is what I'm hearing. You return...
Okay, Billy. no, stop it, Billy. What do you think? Better than joggers.
No. Let's I just want to list it, just without all the flowery language. You've got a cloak, jogging bottoms, a tank top, and a woolly bobble hat,
and a woolen jacket,
and a jacket and glasses.
Some nice socks.
Yeah, let's not mention the.
And underwear. At least I got an underwear.
So really, what Max is describing is anyone who's ever been to Glastonbury, really.
So I've just come from a festival.
Yeah. Like he's come from a festival.
Festival lad. I love it.
All right. Well, Jack, this is what Jules returns to you with. What do you think?
It'll all change with your height and stuff. So
You'll grow into it.
yeah, you'll grow into it.
As I put on the fucking beanie.
Yeah.
I swear to fucking God, if this wasn't life or death.
That looks great there, hon.
No, it doesn't. You
Yeah, it
know
does.
it. No, it doesn't.
Yeah, it does. I got this in a bundle. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I can tell.
All secondhand.
Yeah, I can smell that. How do I look?
Fantastic.
You're lying, aren't you?
A little bit.
Yeah.
You get your brand new clothes on in the middle of the street. I'm assuming you're
In
just
an alleyway.
putting on
In an
the
alleyway.
Yeah,
We've got standards. Okay.
I've just put on the hat, the jacket
Shut up, Billy.
for the minute. Yeah. You're thieving. We bought ours legit.
Yeah.
We're supporting.
We're supporting
At
the
least
little man.
at least I thieved with style.
Yeah, with
We're
vomit on your
helping the
shirt.
economy.
Don't look at me.
You've just got hand-me-downs from a mum on your first day of school.
We're supporting
Yours
the
has never
economy.
been washed, so stop speaking.
Yeah. Yours aren't even
Touche.
dry yet.
Yeah.
Speechless.
You linger there for a few more moments, having changed out of your clothes, and another 5-10 minutes or so passes, and eventually you see Kurt making his way back towards you, cutting in through the crowds and just kind of still struggling a little bit on the weight of his damaged limbs. Eventually, he passes up to each of you. Right, well, okay. You've got a vote.
Choices were made.
Yeah, I can tell.
Here's your purse, by the way. It's empty.
Yeah, I figured it would be.
Yeah.
Fine. He kind of smiles and opens his coat to put it in with 2 more that weren't there when you last saw him.
Nice.
Right, so you've got a boat. It's not great. It's a boat.
That's enough.
It's a small fishing ship. We'll have it down on the dusk docks for you this evening.
Right. Motor powered, or do I need to row?
I'm going to say that originally it does have a motor. I mean, how much worth you're going to get out of it is the next question. So I did ask them to throw the oars in as well, just in case.
It just adds to the speed.
Of course. But yeah, they'll have that down for dust docks, the dust docks for you at this time tonight, or about 8 bells.
Cool. Right. Okay.
You're looking to pick up the Reclaimer.
The Proclaimer. All right. Somebody. These are
Writing
new.
it
I don't
down.
know.
Yeah,
Thank you.
So did you say the Proclaimer or the Reclaimer?
Reclaimer.
Reclaimer, not named after the guys that sang 500 miles then.
No. It definitely would not go 500 miles, I'll tell you that much.
Or 500
I
more.
would
500 more.
row 500 miles, and I would row 500 more.
And we've lost Jack to just a row song
Yeah.
for the day.
So, what's next? Do we head back?
I
Wait for your
guess
friend?
so. They're gonna. Yeah. Sounds like the plan.
Fair. Right, well, let's get moving then. I need to sit down.
Yep, that's fair. Let's get going.
You start making your way back to the Bubbling Brew, kind of taking your pack through the paths as cautiously as you can. Kurt has definitely slowed on the kind of way back versus when he came out in the first place. Seems that his earlier injuries may not be maybe bothering him a little bit more than he'd originally kind of let on. Meanwhile, over in Old Town, Subil, you've picked up your new clothing. Make your way back out onto the streets. What's your next step?
I am. So it's fairly crowded, yeah?
Very much so, yeah.
I'm tempted to... that's a bad idea. So at the moment, to be clear, we're on the road in front of the courtyard leading into this little outpost.
Correct.
Right, and there's multiple shops and vendors lie in the road.
Yep, there's plenty going on around you.
Okay, I am going to feeling I am going to try and, while I'm in the midst of the crowd, I'm just going to pick someone's pocket to try and get some change while passing by someone, I think.
Worth a try.
Yeah.
We're going to call that coordination stealth. It will be opposed.
That's absolutely fine. Okay. And once again, would face in the crowd help me in this instance?
I'm going to say not so much in this scenario.
Yeah.
Delving, as it were.
That's all right. It's worth a try. And would my background as a con man help me in this instance?
I'm also going to say no on that one.
That's fine. That's fair enough. All right. Let's give this a go. That's a success and a crit, so three passes.
Wonderful. You get two generate two momentum. Yeah.
Hey. That guy really didn't protect his coin purse that well, did he?
You grab out someone's pocketbook and withdraw a few coins from that one. A total of 17.
17. I'll take it. All right. With that change, I'm just going to put this in here. So I lost all my other money. Yay. So 17 coin, yeah?
Yep.
Lovely. With that, are there any open vendors, like open front stalls lining this route, or is it all shop fronts where you actually have to enter the shop?
The vast majority of them are in store. It's the street just isn't wide enough to accommodate anything further than that. As you kind of glance up and down, though, on about halfway up, not quite facing the courtyard, it's a bit of an awkward angle towards it. There is a building with a small balcony on the second floor, where you can see people sat around small tables reading papers with heavy Carnacan cigars, just kind of lounging around.
So it's a really
smoking house.
Okay. Are they fairly high end, or are they fairly to the common people here in South Hut?
It's a bit of a mix. You get the feeling that all of Old Town is a little bit more focused towards the less fortunate, but it's still a building that seems to be trying to put on the airs of a more well-off establishment. Okay. Well, considering how I'm dressed, I fit in quite well with someone trying to appear much more high class than I am. That's fair. Okay. I'll head towards that particular establishment then, I think. Head inside, see what happens. You make your way in, and immediately are assailed by the sense of a doven. Does it doven? My God, my ability to speak is deteriorating rapidly. A dozen or so different scents of various smokables from across the continent, the entirety of the empire, if not further. There's this heavy kind of acrid smell and smoky air to the room as you step in. Off on the right-hand side, there's a long bar with various bottles kind of put up behind it, but more prominently on display are various cigars from across the area. A couple of the tables are already taken up. There's a stairwell that leads to the second floor, and the entire rear portion of the building seems to be dedicated to large plush sofas and armchairs that have all seen better days, but there are people reclining in them, chatting, just dropping ash on the floor. I'll head up to the bar, in which case, and talk to whoever's behind it about some cigars. There's a fairly thinning, quite old man, completely bald head, thick white mustache that's oiled to the nines and just twirled up around, leaving his mouth perfectly exposed and the kind of very grim yellow, if not slightly blackened teeth that smile out from under you. Afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, my friend. Oh, smoky in here. I love it.
That's the intent. What can I get you?
Well, I was thinking of, I'm traveling through Salsa, and I haven't had a smoke in a good couple of days while on the road. And I've been
criminal.
You know, I know exactly what you mean, my friend. I'm quite low on coin. I'm working on a job at the moment. I was hoping to pick something up nice and cheap and just enjoy myself up on your on the balcony. I saw it's a lovely place you got here.
Thank you. We do our best. Now, it's cheap, you say. What type of budget are you looking at?
What have you got, my friend? What have you got?
Well, he turns in place and just kind of runs his hand along the various selections there and comes to a fairly small, quite thin selection, a small packet of free, and picks those ones up and brings them over to you. From Mentagoin Island.
Oh, lovely.
10 coin for the entire pack.
My friend, it sounds like Mentagon. Yes. I can probably do 8 for you if that sounds good to you. I mean, that's the best I can do on the road.
Do me a will persuasion check, difficulty 2.
Absolutely. So that's 10 and then 4 persuasion. Would deception help here?
Yep.
Lovely. All right. I mean, I could have also said rhetoric, and I could have gone on Mentagon Island. Oh my, the journeys I've had there. But I think deception's probably a little better here. All right, rolling now. That's 14. Okay. So that's 10 and a 6, so 2 successes.
He kind of looks at you. Go on then. And just pushes them across and puts his hand up.
My friend, I love you right now. I appreciate that, my friend. You wouldn't happen to have a light, would you?
He reaches up under, just pulls out a little selection of matches, slides one across the surface of the table, lighting it and just kind of extending it out.
It's lovely. Very nice. Well, strong now. Strong now. Oh, very nice. That'll do you a coin, my friend. You're up to 9. One more and I'll break even with you.
So you have more?
Well, I was saving it for my dinner this evening, but I mean, you caught me out there. I'll just get half my lunch. You know how it goes. You know the parts of the town. We got to do what we got to do. You know.
Indeed, sir.
Oh.
Which upstairs, enjoy. If you need anything else, you know where we are.
Beautiful, my friend, beautiful. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. And I head straight up towards the stairs.
You make your way up, just looping around onto the balcony where you find yourself a free chair, settle in, and you've got the space.
Lovely. I'll just keep a little... I don't want to be too obvious that I'm surveying the area, but I'll keep one eye over on the courtyard just to see who's entering and exiting. I'll also just keep an eye out to see if I can see Edlynnne or Lottie on any of the other buildings. I know that they're possibly on the roofs, and I just want to make sure they're being, I want to keep an eye on everything. Paranoid old me.
If you can do me a insight perception check, please, and Edlynnne, if you can do me a coordination or agility stealth check.
I just love the idea Lottie sees this. Is he just gone for a smoke?
Sorry, Ben?
Agility or coordination stealth.
Either. They're both exactly the same roll for me, so...
Whichever.
I can give you 2 passes.
Nice.
How'd you do, Subil?
Well, I was aiming for 10, and I got a 9, and I got an 11, so that's one success for me.
You get the feeling they're out there, but you can't see either of them.
Okay. Keeping an eye out, but mostly an eye on that courtyard.
On the roof, however, you have just been kind of idling away the time as Lottie has just gone completely silent since her little inquiry and is just very cautiously watching the building. You're sat there as well, just watching over the Protectorate offices, and every now and then you just kind of glance up and down the street. And eventually, from your position, you kind of the next highest point of reference for you is indeed the balcony. So you've been kind of quite cautiously watching it every now and then, as it's the only area that could feasibly get decent line of sight to you. And after about 15-20 minutes or so, you become painfully aware of Subil just sat on the second floor, smoking away.
I really hope it just picks up. He is just looking straight at me, but it's like a cloud of smoke, so he actually can't see me. That's literally what I'm expecting. I'll just kind of turn to Lottie and just be like, I think he's forgotten what we were doing. And just be like, and just like kind of point down and just be like, yeah.
She just glances over. Yep. And right back to looking at the offices.
Yeah, now that I know that Subil is like there, I'll also turn my attention to the offices and just make sure that I'm keeping an eye on that.
You while away another hour or two. Time continues just to drag away from you as you wait on top of that roof. Eventually, rain and a twist to the weather starts to kind of eke in from the water and just brush
I have
over.
a really
Old Town.
serious question.
Yes.
I don't rust, do I? I'm not going to rust in the rain, am I?
Only one way to find out.
Oh my god.
Shit. Just gonna be like, oh, no, don't rust.
It's okay, I can whip up some WD-40.
Yeah,
for
just
you.
like say really
Somebody
quietly.
owns somebody who owns chainmail. WD-40 don't do shit.
Like just say really quietly and wishing, just be like, don't rust.
The rain, as I say, just kind of brushes over the area. It's a very light one. It's the type of rain that clings to you after it's passed over, just infesting its way into your clothing. It puts a chill to the air, an unsavory one that you, again, it leaves you with this odd familiarity, almost as if the sensation you had whenever Sam was nearby.
Ooh. Okay. Kind of just be like, feeling that, kind of just like adjust myself and be a bit more like observative is the word, right?
Observant.
Observant.
I like
Look, I
observative.
failed English. Thank you. See, look, Edlynnne doesn't know all the Chalician words, right? Okay, it's fine. Observative is a word.
And time continues to while away. Back in the warehouse district, or correction, back over in the Bubbling Brew, both Kurt, Jules, and Jack have returned, finding Cecily at this point having kind of woken from your stupor, still sat inside with both Eli and Max waiting. Eli is still out for the count, but Max at this point has kind of woken up and is trying to make himself helpful however he can, just tidying up after the surgeries, doing his best to mop it up and make it look like you were never here in the first place. As Kurt returns, you get this moment as he kind of walks straight over to Max and just gives him a great big hug. And the two of them just kind of start talking to each other in not so much hushed tones, but in a very personal manner, as if the conversation is just for them. What do the rest of you do?
Because I'm an alchemist, and also because I've travelled, will I know how to work the coffee machine that's upstairs?
You wander up, you have a little look. It's alien madness, you're sure of it.
I'm not
Want
the
another
only one.
coffee?
It wasn't just my ignorance. It is overly complex.
I'm really gonna have to teach you guys how to read Wishian, aren't I? It's just literally what you have to do.
Wait, I
The
speak
next-
Wishian. I can speak it. I just can't work your coffee machines, apparently.
Doesn't have
Well-
instructions, unfortunately. You can make me a, we'll say reason engineering, difficulty 2.
Okay, combat engineering is not going to help me here.
I mean, it feels like a fight.
Reason engineering. Okay.
Let's spend the next 2 hours making coffee.
My first roll was a complication. And the second one was a fail, so no, I'm not making coffee.
Don't be
You-
breaking my coffee machine.
You burn the beans horrendously. You end it thinking you have coffee, and then you sip at it, and it's like you're drinking ash.
Okay. I think
Take it over to the sink and pour away 20 minutes
Yeah.
of work.
Just please tell me it was Chalician beans she used.
most likely. The first one's a grab.
Location in Elysium.
Don't be touching my fucking Wishian beans, all right?
How does Whist even grow coffee?
Magic.
Cleverly.
Drugs.
Mm.
Our coffee is drugs, basically.
Okay.
I'm rewriting the whole of Whiskey here, man. You're welcome. I'm kidding. Not. That's how Edlynnne dies. Just straight. Yeah.
Is there
Stop
anything
changing
else
canon.
to do
Whack.
whilst you're here? Or just rest?
I think I'm going to continue to rest, actually.
I will.
All that surgery took it out of me, and then I got high, which is something Cecily really doesn't do, but just seemed like a very good idea at the time.
As it always does.
Yeah. If I'm just going to see if I've got any injury. I have one injury. Would all this rest get rid of that?
What's the injury?
It's a mental injury. I've just written injuries 1 mental. I haven't put down which one it is.
Oh, no.
Probably something to do with seeing the horrific
Yeah, or the scream.
scuttly boy.
Yeah, Scully boy.
You can make me a will medicine check, difficulty 3.
We have 2 momentum.
I was going to say exactly that because we're back and last level up, I put my point into medicine. Am I able to be more a psychiatrist rather than a physical doctor?
I couldn't use reassuring on myself, could I?
Unfortunately not, because you know you're lying. Tell you what,
Max
we are going to go for a short break of 10 minutes, and when we
Okay.
come back, you can quite happily roll to talk her through it.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks.
No worries. We will be back shortly.
Bye.
Hello and welcome back. Thank you for holding with us over the break. Right, as we last left it, we have our multiple crew spread out across the city of Southsert. We have both Lottie, Edlynnne, and Subil resting in the depths of Old Town, watching over the Protectorate offices, whilst Jules, Cecily, and Jack wait back in the bubbling brew. At the beginning of this, I believe Jules and Cecily were about to have a bit of a chat, trying to work through some of, the more deep-seated issues that linger for Cecily.
How far back are we going?
More than 2 days, you're going to have plenty to talk about.
Yeah.
I can only work day at a time.
So, to help kind of talk you through everything and work through your mental injury, is going to be depends on who does it, it will be a will resilience, as I double checked this on the break, I do apologize, will resilience check for Cecily to try and work herself through it.
Okay.
Or if Jules were to try and step in and help, it would be a will medicine test.
Okay. So my will resilience would be 9.
If I ended up helping, would I roll or would?
Yeah, he's rolling.
So it's up to you who you want to have leading. As I said, if you want to have Jules leading, you'll be using will medicine. So no matter what happens, there'll be a will medicine check for Jules and a will resilience check for Cecily.
Right.
Okay.
Regardless of which one of you leads, the test will be the same for each of you. It's just seeing who is leading the check.
If it's me, I've got will and medicine to be 11 overall.
Okay, so if you lead and I'll follow.
Cool.
And it is going to be difficulty 3.
Would you like another dice?
I would say no. No. Could I have another dice, please? That's my momentum go, Jago.
Okay, yep.
Okay, so that is 2 successes.
And Cecily?
Do we have any more momentum? Well, to be fair, if I lose,
We have 1.
I'm just stuck with the injury for a little bit longer, aren't I?
They can't spend momentum when you're assisting.
Okay. That's fine. No successes.
Did you get any more?
Well, I got 2 successes on that one and then a 7 on it, so that's 3 overall.
Perfect. This is what I thought would happen.
Cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
You spend a couple of hours talking through everything you've seen. All of the various horrors that you've been facing over the last few weeks.
Been
Please.
crying a bit through this.
What would be, as we're going to list off that injury as just generalized horrific trauma, is there anything specifically Cecily wants to work through with Jules there as a listening ear?
Gosh, just the horrors of the unknown. We have these hands, this thing chasing us, and we can defeat it. I suppose that's something. We've defeated it, but just to know it can come back at any time. We don't know where from or how it finds us exactly. And Sam, I think, was helping us, but I can't be sure. I'm not sure.
As kind of like, as a barmaid previously, I'll do the stereotypical of kind of like a listening in, but not solely, just kind of letting her speak it out and just kind of verbal vomit it of just kind of what's going through her head while I kind of clean around her, I guess, and just kind of interact at any points that she can.
I think for Cecily as well, just the fact that she can just get it all out. It is helping because it's not it being internalized anymore. I think sort of just verbal vomit, as Max put it.
You spend a couple of hours just vomiting through everything. And by the end of it, as you kind of slowly string your last words out, you do feel lighter, as if there's a weight off of your shoulders, and you can remove the injury.
Yay!
Jack, is there anything you'd like to be doing during this time? Apart from trying your brand new clothes on.
Yeah.
Gonna go and try and make some coffee.
No, no one else touch my coffee machine,
look.
please. I'd like it to be working when I come
You know
back.
what? Yes, I am. I'm gonna try and make coffee.
Mate, no. My
Would it have just been me that had not tried to make coffee yet?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. It would just-
Yeah.
The only person that's succeeded so far is Holly.
Okay,
is
what's
Edlynnne.
the check?
My
sir? What-
coffee
You make your way
machine.
upstairs, have a look over the machine, and you realise at this point all the Wissian's gone, leaving just a small amount of Carnican and some Chalician.
Oh,
So you
if
kinda
the Wishian's gone, fuck it, I don't
crack your
care.
fingers and hop to. It's going to be a reason engineering check difficulty, as you don't. Do you speak Wissian? I don't believe so. No, difficulty 3.
Okay, sorry.
Swear down.
reason
Very
engineering.
complicated coffee machine.
Reason engineering difficulty 3.
I have no engineering, so it's just reason, which is 7.
Oh,
I've got good feelings about this.
Glad someone does.
So you need a critic, you need a nat 1, and you need
Yeah.
something under a 7.
So
That's the only
momentum.
chance that you can
So that's a
successfully make
momentum
coffee.
that's a momentum being spent straight off the
all
bat.
I'm saying is that I won't accept it either way if you get the 3 successes. So I'm
God,
rooting against
if
you,
you're out,
honestly.
any gods, if you're out there, I need you now.
I'm going
Gods
to
of
rage
coffee,
quit if you
here we
get
go.
this.
Oh, it really thought about it. It really thought about it. That was. Oh, it was 2 successes. Then it just blipped over into 11. So that's only 1 success.
I am the coffee master.
It really thought about it.
At least you had a success. It might taste slightly better than mine.
You
success.
brew something. Imagine the thinnest brown water you have ever seen in your life.
Oh.
You sip at it. You just dribble it back into the cup, put the cup down, and walk away.
I have never been so happy in my life, honestly.
When the alchemist that actually owns the place that we've broken into comes back and sees the carnage of all of his fancy wishy and coffee gone, half of it on the floor with like broken mugs from when I attempted it last session, the amount of attempts this session with burnt coffee when Cecily tried it, and now just brown murky water just
All
on
I'm
the side.
All I'm saying, there's a very high chance that, like, when the alchemist comes back, Edlynnne's going to be stood there at the door with freshly made coffee and be like,
Yeah.
"Here you go."
I'm
your
so
coffee maker
sorry.
now.
There you go.
If the machine still works.
Yeah.
This
Yeah.
is still like the best coffee he's ever had, like they've ever had in their life.
Oh.
Meanwhile, across town,
Mm.
you've finished, for Sybil, you've finished your first cigar, and you've kind of had to quietly move on to the second to just keep your position in place. You continue to watch as the rain drizzles overhead and the sunlight starts to dip behind thicker clouds as heavier rain starts to come in from the south. On top of the roofs, both Edlynnne and Lottie nestle in, doing their best to ignore the worst of the rain as it just beats into your backs and starts to just swamp your clothing. It slowly
Once
just
again, just rocking back and forth, going, don't rust, do not rust. I swear down, if I rust, I'm going to cry.
You find that it's all just running off of the metal at the moment and it's not gathering anywhere, so you don't worry as much. But as it runs off of you onto the tiles of the rooftops, just draining down and around. At this point, the streets start to go quiet. People start ducking into buildings to hide from the rain, others disappearing into their homes or into whatever store they can find. The smokehouse becomes significantly more lively due to this. But after a couple of hours of time, slowly just mulling it away, the front door, out of the front door of the offices, the man from earlier, the blonde with the kind of black suit, steps out carrying just an umbrella loosely in his hand, which he pushes open and just raises over his head. He turns and from your positions kind of blocks out the line of sight you have to whomever he's talking to, but you see the telltale signs of a white robe behind him, or directly in front of him more precisely. He stands there discussing something for a few minutes before stepping back, bowing deeply and walking away from you, heading deeper into Old Town off towards Faithview Hills. As he starts to walk off, you catch a quick glimpse of Juliana stood in the doorway. Looking out of the door, just the look of mild frustration on her face before just twisting and heading back inside. A few more Protectorate at that point slip out of the front door and head off on their rounds, heavy blue trench coats covering them from the worst of the rain. And as I say, she disappears back inside. The warden starts heading off to the north.
Is it like towards where the letter said to go? Or is that different?
Be the opposite direction.
Opposite
Yeah.
direction, okay. Well, what to do? I can't really talk to Subil because he's smoking, so he's off on the balcony. He's off on the balcony just smoking. So I'll turn to Lottie and I'll just be like, I don't think she's going to leave. Do we just stay here, or should we try to steal the coat and sneak our way in?
She just kind of glances down. I don't know. She'll have to leave eventually. They're heading out. They've got the prison shift tomorrow morning. So that'll need preparation, although in fairness, if she's as high up as you say she is, maybe she doesn't need to interact with that. Didn't you say she has a brother?
Yeah, she does. He got really badly, not beaten, but our encounter last time, or our encounter any time we see that her brother's never been the greatest. But yeah, she does have a brother.
Maybe he's off dealing with that then, or recovering. I don't know. I mean, I'd be interested to know who that is, she says, kind of nodding her head at the black cloak figure who's very quickly disappearing from view.
Well, he looks official. But I mean, apart from clothes-wise, I can't tell who he is.
Well, we can hold or we can go after him. What would you say?
I say hold. I don't want to make a decision and not have Subil here to kind of know what the decision is. You get what I mean. I can't English words today. But I say we hold for a moment. He doesn't seem like he's going in the direction we need him to go anyway, so.
Okay. And she just kind of shifts in place again and just rests her arms back onto just below her head and continues to just watch the building as carefully as she can.
Do you just want to ask quickly, it's probably not, but like on the roof, is there like anything metalish I can kind of just have as a weapon in case things go south? Or, like,
not really, no.
Didn't think so. Worth a try, you never know. There could have been like a broken bit of metal sometime.
It's always worth asking. In the smoking house, Subil, is there anything you'd like to do? As you see the same figure just disappear off to the north.
My only concern is that it's possibly taking some kind of message to the Justicar estate out of the city, some kind of update. But I think Subil is most likely going to be keeping all of his attention on Juliana. So I don't think he would be deterred. I think he's going to stay observing the outpost as long as Juliana's there. He's following her.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, the objective was Juliana, so.
You continue to hold your position then. A few more, about half an hour more passes, and the rain continues to beat down. Slowly but surely, kind of getting worse and worse and worse with every passing minute. It gets to the point where, at this point, if the streets were quiet, they are now dead. It is then that, stepping directly out of the front door once again, you see Juliana. her white robes taken over by, again, quite a heavy greatcoat to keep the worst of the rain off, and a hood being pulled up over her head as she steps out into the rain. 2 protectorate guards step in behind, kind of walk in lockstep directly behind her. And in her right hand, she carries a large bird cage, which has been covered over with a small kind of tarp, as it were. She heads out into the street and immediately starts heading south, down towards the Dusk Docks.
Showtime.
The Protectorate are following directly after her, however.
No Protectorate or 2 Protectorate? 2, okay. Okay.
I mean, well, you're not there. I can't discuss this because with you because you're next to me.
You can see him, though.
I can see him. Yeah, but if I try, I'm scared to try to get his attention because.
Yeah, I can't see you.
Yeah, you can't see me. And no, my look. I'll like. Pigeon noise. No, I just look at Lottie and just be like, "Let's go now. Maybe try to take out the 2 protectorates so we can." If we want to get Juliana before she gets to her destination, that is, but definitely start going and hope Sybil goes as well.
Take them out.
Well, if we decide we want to talk to Juliana before she gets to the destination, you're good with it. You're good. I'm gonna guess you're good with melee if you can kind of use some guns. I don't know. I'll grab a metal stick or something, or hope to God I don't like mess up. We can take out. It's fine. Look, I'm talking a lot again. I just really want to hit somebody. Let's just go.
Just kind of.
I've had a lot of coffee. I had coffee for the first time in ages. Okay, I
love how the idea was falling apart as you were saying.
You pick yourself up and you and Lottie make your way over to the edge of the building. At this point, the tiles of the roof are slick with rainwater, as are the drains. You can see water just pumping down through it to the ground below. And as Lottie kind of reaches out, hello, Moth. As Lottie reaches out to grab hold of it, it's quite slick to the touch.
What if
making her life. You can try.
I'll try to reach out and just see if what normally happens when I touch metal happens now. If I can kind of just like mold. I don't know what I do with the metal.
You reach down and just kind of touch onto the metal. With the layer of water that's covering it, it's actually you can't quite get the same grip that you could earlier. And if anything, actively thinking about it seems to be complicating the issue.
Brango, no.
Trying to make it work isn't helping.
Well,
you'll have to actively,
metal. Honestly, metal parts are so cool until the rain. It's just stupid. Just look at Lottie and be like.
You can try and use the ability to actively get it to work, but now you're trying to make it. It's not coming as easily.
Would that be the iron molding a bit like the spell?
Correct.
Difficulty 2. Did I put a point in engineering? I didn't, because I haven't had time to level up yet. I mean, I'm gonna fail whatever I do anyway, so fuck it. I'll try my iron molding. I hope to God it works. I'll just look at. Well, I need to cut. I need blood first. So be like, look at Lottie and be like, "Do you have anything sharp? Do you want to like stab?"
He just reaches behind her and pulls out this heavy carving knife that's about that thick.
Yeah, I'll just put the hand out and be like, "Go on, you know you want to." Everyone does do it.
She doesn't say anything. She just takes your wrist and just just draws a small amount of blood from your fingertip.
Yeah, cool. I will try to see if dice are on my side today and let me do this really difficult.
You need to get like a little.
So without
piercing...
engineering, is it just like will? No.
Just will if you don't have any engineering yet.
Hold God, I'm actually just. Don't fuck. Don't. Please. Please let me have something cool. That's 2 5s. That is 2 passes.
Hey,
I somehow managed to do that.
how would you like to manipulate the metal? You reach out with your hand, the blood on your finger dripping amongst the rain and solidifying, becoming silver the second it goes to leave your body. It slides down, hitting the drain pipe, and you immediately feel this degree of control over it.
Is that like over the whole drain pipe?
Over the whole drain pipe.
I think to make it easier for me and Lottie, I would like to kind of just have small bits kind of poking out the drain pipe to make it kind of climbable for both, like kind of like a ladder of some sorts for just.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be like massive, like lungs, just big enough for us to be able to like grab, and then we can climb our way down.
You reach out, and as I say, as you feel this control starting to manifest, it's hard to describe how you feel yourself to it, but you're not moving your hands, you're not physically remolding anything. You just focus on it. In your mind's eye, you picture the metal of the drain shift and reform. You're working with the same mass of drain. There's no new material being born out of anywhere, but instead you cause the entire drain to groan and moan against the rain. You hear the kind of straining metal as it just and it compresses onto itself. As it compresses up, it kind of folds out at regular intervals, creating not so much handholds, but divots that allow your hands to just grip in a little bit more and have natural points of rest. It's an odd experience, and it genuinely hurts exerting your will on the spot. But within a few moments, you feel the wound on your finger sealing up as the blood just hardens once again and causes a new mark of small steel on your finger. But the drain is completely repurposed.
Just to ask, does that take any of the does that take any of my stresses? Like,
so it does have a cost. The cost is that much damage, physical damage.
Okay, yeah, it says cost free and drain, so that's.
Yep. So it's 3 dice worth of damage.
Damage dice?
Yes, please.
Welcome to the club.
Two faces and a blank, so two damage in total, right?
2 damage in total, but 2 faces are 2 drain, which is 2 points of fatigue.
Cool, so I'm down to 4 fatigue and I think 11? No, fatigue takes away from your actual health, like actual total health.
It reduces your maximum stress, yeah.
Okay, so if I do... Oh, damn, okay. Hold on, let me work out my fatigue first and then I'll do the rest.
Welcome to
11, 10.
Big fatigue club.
Down to 8. Okay, never mind, I've got this.
You do that, and as I say, and as you've kind of reformed it, Lottie just glances over at you and then back at that. Slides her knife back in place behind the most of her cloak and just nods. That's a neat trick.
Yeah, it's useful. Really useful. Here, you can go first if you want. It should be good. It should be easier now.
Thanks. There's more channelers than you've said, so there are more channelers here than you said there were. She says as she starts gripping and going down handhold by handhold.
Just before she goes down and be like, yeah, I don't know if I'm a channeler or not. It's complicated. And I'll just let her go. I'm still trying to do maths in my head. Hold on.
You can wait maths now.
I think I'm going to say 8 for convenience sake. No. You know what?
Hang on.
Carry on. I'm going to view myself and watch this out.
Very nice. Well, Holly works out numbers.
Hang on, Lottie. Half her face is metal. You think there's something going on?
Again, no, it's just tattoos. It's just tattoos. What about?
Can I get you to make a agility athletics check, difficulty 1, to actually get down the drain?
There's too many numbers, Ben. There's too many numbers.
Welcome to RPGs.
2.
Cool. Generate momentum. You make your way down and onto the street itself. The rain beating around you, and you kind of head out. Are you just trailing immediately after Juliana and the two Protectorate?
Well, my assumption is going to be Subil has seen Juliana leave and will also make his way out. So I guess, yeah, I think we're just going to start trailing and then hope to God that Subil is smart enough. Not smart enough, but hope to God Subil is like, Juliana's left. I should leave. Unless he's just made a massive wall of smoke around himself.
In which case, you take onto the street and just start tracking alongside. Subil. You see exactly the same thing. You see the woman the woman coming out in a white inquisitorial robe, carrying the birdcage, putting the hood up, and then heading out onto the road with the two Protectorate coming in behind her. What are you doing?
I ignore it, it'll be fine. No, I think I am exactly the same priorities. I'm going to, once I see that, nice and subtly stand up from my little spot and head downstairs with my half-finished cigar. I'll give the bartender a little bit of a nod as I'm leaving. And just like, appreciate that, my friend. And then I'm going to head straight out the door and follow behind. I want to... so I assume Juliana is sticking to the main roads. She's got no reason not to.
The small group of them is just making their way straight down the main road towards the Dusk Docks.
I think I'm going to follow parallel, but I'm going to stick to the alleys. I don't want to be out in the open if no one else is on the streets. No.
Okay. You step out, have a look around, and as you kind of make your way out into the main road, there's a couple others that are still kind of puffing away, taking into the alcove just under, caused by the balcony. So you kind of just blend in with them for a couple of moments. And as you just look up the road, you see the fairly impossible to miss Edlynnne and Lottie just heading straight down the road towards Juliana and Co.
Subtle, guys.
We are kind of trying to make it look a bit subtle, but like, I mean, I'm not the best stealthy wise. I could be with fucking a metal head. But I'm trying because
they're keeping a good distance and standing on the opposite side of the road. But to the trained eye, it's a tail. You know a tail. You've seen a tail a million times. That's a tail.
You've been a tail.
Look, I'm good for only one thing, and it's making coffee, okay? Leave me alone.
You really are going to retire and become a barista at the end of this campaign, aren't you?
Honestly, she's definitely thinking about opening a cafe. Like, I'm not even kidding. That's what she thought about the past 4 hours on the roof, is how would she open a cafe?
Oh, man. I think I don't think that's going to deter me from staying in the alleys. If they get spotted, it's on them. I want to continue with the alleys, but now I'm going to have to keep an eye on both the Juliana and the Protectorate group and them. And then hopefully if anything comes about where the Protectorate are distracted by the tail, I might be able to, pull Juliana into an alley or somehow separate her from her guard. That's going to be the intent. So I'll try and follow alongside Juliana and her group, more parallel than I would be alongside the tail, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Just alongside alleys.
Absolutely fine. In which case, can I get we're going to call this insight stealth to kind of combine the keeping an eye on them and keeping a distance from both parties. It's going to be opposed for both of you. So I need one from Edlynnne and one from Jules. So this is happening far too many times. One from Edlynnne and one from Subil, please.
Absolutely.
Insight stealth, yeah?
Insight stealth.
Would camouflage help in this instance?
Yes.
Lovely. Let's get 5. Get crit. Come on. That's a cock dice.
Which annoys me.
That is a crit and then a fail. So 2 successes from me.
Okay.
My dice fell on the floor. Hold on. 2 from me because yay. She wants to do stuff well this week, apparently. Could have been really useful in the fight situation a couple of weeks ago, but
So they're not expecting anyone to be tailing them and keeping a good eye out.
Right, how did you do that, Holly? You cut out
I
on
got
my end.
2.
Perfect.
Yeah.
The two of you in your separate little groups continue just to trail after Juliana. You're fairly confident that you've both gone unnoticed as you make your way down through the worst of Old Town, passing the southernmost portion of it and crossing into the far less affluent, even compared to Old Town, Dusk Docks. She continues on, tracked with the two protectorates, making their way down towards the dockheads themselves. You can see, excuse me, you see them pass by more and more closed doors as most of the town just kind of closes down against the rain. A few fishermen and others out in heavy wading gear are still prowling the streets, as it were. But the hour in the evening and the day is starting to go on and edging towards evening. You close down as they make their way towards a kind of nice open square. As you've been going, though, you're kind of keeping an eye on the group as a whole. Can I ask specifically Subil to make a insight observation check, please? There's difficulty 4.
4, fuck. Okay. We don't have any momentum, do we? We have one.
I think I managed to get one.
Oh, okay. So observation. I'm assuming we're also being tailed. I'm assuming the tail's being tailed by a tail.
Yeah, I don't think we passed.
Perception.
Okay.
Let's have become the tailies.
I am going to use a momentum, I think.
Okay. Max, was that just tailception or on tailception?
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did we just become best friends?
I think we just did.
And to double check, that was an insight observation, yeah?
Yeah.
Lovely. I don't expect instinct would help me here, would it?
Instinct will definitively help you here.
Oh.
I'm actually nervous.
Oh, that makes me think that it's more of a... Oh.
We fucked.
If it's an instinctual thing, that makes me think that I'm looking out for something that's not human and something that we're more like used to just feeling its presence than seeing it. Okay. I guess we are. Right, here we go. Rolling the first
Come on,
two.
guys. It ain't gonna be no monster. We beat the shit out of that thing.
Yeah, been there, done that.
Yeah.
Oh,
it's on the t-shirt.
Shit.
Complications.
That's a complication. And a pass, but still I've got one more to, and that's a fail.
Oh dear.
You continue to track them.
Fuck.
Please notice this, Holly, please.
Complications.
You continue to track the small team until eventually they make their way, as I say, into a fairly open portion of the Dusk Docks. There's a large...
Can I ask a question quickly? At any point...
Mm-hmm.
No, it was just more like at any point was there any metal that I could have picked up to somehow have in case things go south?
I don't know if it'll help, Holly.
Anything will help at this point.
I don't know.
I would say if you could spend a momentum, I would say yes.
There is one momentum.
Yeah, I'd say sure.
I'm spending it because no one ever. Yeah, I'm spending. I'm being selfish.
Go for it.
All right.
You pick up a piece of metal.
Cool. I just want something to have as a weapon at some point. I don't even care if I can mold it.
It is a piece of corrugated iron.
Yeah, it's you're heading through a dock. It's a chain. It's a very small piece of chain.
That's fine. I can do stuff with that. I can. That was dark shit.
You continue down, as I say, you find this large opening. The Juliana and her two protectorates slide through a small alleyway that passes by a large gate. The door has been left open.
Oh.
They make their way inside and into the open ground beyond, where a single tree sits in the middle and is kind of overlooked by several houses with close to flats or apartments that are spread over 3 distinct levels. Railings just running around the external edges of each of them, darkened windows and shadows moving on the inside with heavy curtains blocking the view into the interior. They walk in
That feeling.
and just stop beneath the tree.
I'm not. I mean, I'm
woman-
not gonna.
At this point, both Edlynnne and Lottie, you've kind of, as you were following more directly, kind of come up to just beyond that gate that they walked through, stopping on the other side and able to just look through and see what they're doing. Subil, you're doing much the same, but from across the street.
Oh, I'm gonna.
The only way in or out of that area is through the gate that they've walked through. And as you can see them, you see the rain from above is causing large puddles just to build up across the streets in every direction.
No.
I just please don't. I want to open my coffee shop. Please don't let this. Please, I just want to open the coffee shop.
You have so much to live for.
I want to open. Edlynnne's got his golden life is to open a coffee shop.
From your position, just next to it, you can see your own reflections building in the water, slightly disturbed by the rain that just drops in from above, shimmering, half-formed reflections of yourselves.
Out of habit, can I just somehow just at least cover my part of my reflection with my foot?
There are too many of them to theoretically cover.
It's raining,
in a heavy cobble street, and it is
No, I refuse to believe it's raining. Have you not been in England recently? What is rain? No, I don't.
What are you three doing? Yes.
Then I was going to ask, say for instance, if someone were to use a void point, would it be raining anymore?
You could theoretically use the void point to have the rain stop, but it's because it's been there, the puddles will still exist.
Yeah, but we can get rid of them. I mean,
if anything, the rain is disturbing the puzzles. Puzzles?
Yeah.
Puddles.
What happens if it's like a really sunny day and it all evaporates really instantly?
We've established I am not a smart person. So...
What are you doing? Like I said, you've got the two of you, both Lottie and Edlynnne, are stood just nestled in behind the gate. You've got Subil across the street, and the three of them have made their way in. They're heading just under that tree.
How far away from the, on the other side, how far away from the gate are we? Are we, relatively close, a bit further on? What's the distance to
You're
the gate?
a good medium distance if you're going by the zones.
So good enough distance for if there's to be a surprise attack, someone can come and shut the gate before we get back. Cool.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck.
Lottie looks over at you. What are we doing?
You came here for a talk.
The rain continues to beat down around you.
I'm just gonna be like.
You get the uncomfortable feeling as you look down to see your own reflection looking back up at you.
I'm just gonna be trying not to show how uncomfortable I'm feeling with the reflections. Just be like, let's just stay here for a minute, see if they move anymore, and then we'll walk our way back to Subil and let them know that where we are. That's a bad decision. I know that's a bad decision, but I don't give a fuck.
Subil, what are you doing? You can see Lottie and Edlynnne having stopped there. They seem to be whispering something to one another. It's impossible to hear them through the rain. And you can see the figures a long distance from you. They step under the tree. You see the woman just place the cage down on the floor. What are you doing?
Push the big red button.
Yeah, but from
You're not here. Your opinion is irrelevant.
If I was there, I'd be pushing it.
If you were here, I'd cut off your hand before you push it.
So is this the designating meeting spot? Is this are we in the...
Dude, I'm made of metal. It's not going to help.
No.
It's not. In which case, well, Subil would have no awareness that there might be anything else wrong, and currently he's still in observation mode. So he's probably going to be keeping an eye still from a distance to see what would happen with Lottie and Edlynnne, because they're closer.
Oh,
So he's probably gonna hold his ground.
I can't
keep an eye.
I can't recoil any further into my.
He would have no other reason. He would have no reason to.
I'm just gonna say what we're all thinking. Do it. Do it.
They place the they place the birdcage down, and the woman turns in place and starts to talk once again to the two Protectorate guard. They're holding there for the moment themselves, it seems.
You push the red button.
The rain continues to beat around you. You feel a distinct coldness starting to just infect your being, as more and more of it just waterlogs your clothes. Edlynnne?
Mm-hmm.
Lottie looks at you. We're going? What? The only way they have out is back through this way, so we either need to leave or go and do something.
I have a feeling this might be a trap. I say we leave. I'm going to start walking backwards, keeping an eye, kind of like doing the whole thing of walking backwards, but keeping an eye to make sure they actually haven't noticed us.
You just start stepping backwards, kind of keeping an eye on the road as you do, in the little courtyard as you do so. Turning in place, you kind of glance back up the road the way you've come, and just standing at a good distance, stood just in the middle of the road, you can see another figure dressed much the same. This heavy black coat covering their features. They're closer to the edge of the road. They stood just leaning on a building. Behind them, you can see various dock workers moving goods, seeming just to be pulling a stall that was once out on the road off and in away from the rain. But you get the distinct feeling they're watching you.
Yeah.
The small light of a cigarette just kind of hidden just under their hood, smoking away.
Would I know from the body language that it could be Subil? I've known him long enough to maybe know his body language.
You have no idea who that is. You can make me an insight perception check, difficulty 3, considering the distance, the rain, and the fact that they are slightly obscured.
I'm just going to say no to that already because I don't have perception and my insight is 9. I don't want to.
Go on, just roll it.
No. I'm hardlining no now. No. I know when I'm going to fail. No.
You take a step.
I'll roll for fun to see what I would have done.
Yeah,
it's not
do
going
it.
to count. Two fucking passes as well if I'd actually rolled that. Fuck. Only the 2. Still.
What did I say?
Fuck off, Jago. You're not even here.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, you have no way.
Yeah.
You can't tell who it is.
That's fine. I'm still just going to keep.
The most you say, it's not doesn't seem to be an overtly masculine figure.
I mean, look. Okay, from Edlynn's point of view,
your character is masculine in any way.
No, you're right. That's accurate. I hope it is me.
Yeah. I know. I'm really not expecting Ben to be like, yeah, you just haven't been following us the whole time. You've been following 2 other people. From Edlynn's point of view, both ways they seem sort of trap-like. But in her head, she wants to go to the trap that's outside the one person because she may actually be able to hold her own against one person rather than 3. She says that. When does she ever want to fight?
So you're heading down the street away from the courtyard then? Back up towards the new figure?
Just outside of the gate, because if they turn around, they're going to see us and we're going to be fucked.
You step out away from the gate and lead yourselves back onto the street itself, becoming fairly obvious in doing so. Not as you walk out onto the road, you continue to keep as much of line of sight away from you as possible from inside the courtyard, but anyone on the road will immediately spot you. The same continues for yourself, Subil. You can see them just stepping away. You watch as Edlynnne starts to look up the street that she's come from and seems to kind of fixate on something going on down there. You glance down and you can also make out this figure hidden behind a heavy black raincoat. Smoke and a small occasional light from a cigarette, puffing away. Workers around them, just to their rear. What do you do? The rain continues to beat around you as a whistling to the wind. For a second, you almost feel like you hear your name as the wind just rushes down the alleyway next to you.
Okay. That's going to put me on edge. That's going to put Subil on edge because he always knows that when he hears that. Does the person smoking very much? Is he wearing the same thing as the warden that left, or the warden investigator? I think he was from
the warden
earlier?
was wearing a very neat black suit with gold trim. The only protection he had from the rain was a large umbrella. He wasn't wearing a raincoat of any variety.
Right. Okay.
You can make
probably not him.
another insight observation check with instinct, now difficulty 3.
Absolutely. Just my brain. I'm just staring at my sheet, not reading everything, just things going on in my brain. I need to actually read the numbers. Insight observation with instinct. So 8, 10 to beat, 2 for crit. Okay. Well, that's two failures. I got 11.
You have this niggling feeling in the back of your head, but you can't quite place it. There's this secondary moment where you just look around once again, craning your neck back towards Edlynnne and Lottie as they walk out of the alleyway into the streets, and just you feel as if something runs up your back. This horrible sensation of it, which is nothing more than goosebumps. But
is it just him that's saying this? Or can I still see
just him?
Or is it just him? Okay.
Oh, mate.
It's not a pirate-looking stance, would it be?
Pardon?
It wouldn't be a pirate-looking stance. I just want to I wouldn't recognize this figure by the way that they're standing or anything like that.
No.
Okay. Okay. That's a relief.
It would have been comeback of all comebacks if it was.
I'm just saying, I'd be pissed, but I'd be okay.
I would have lost my shit.
I don't have time to focus on them. I need to keep my focus on Juliana. That's all the attention that I'm getting at the moment. The figure up the road, it's making me paranoid, but mostly I need to keep an eye on the Protectorate and the Juliana, although the whispering voice is not helping the Sybil's paranoia. Does Juliana and the Protectorate guards, do they look like they're chilling out for a while, or is it like a stop for a smoke break kind of thing?
You look over at them once again just to try and get more of an idea. The cage has now been placed on the floor and they're walking away. They have just left the cage on the floor under the tree and they are walking towards one of the apartments.
Oh god, such a trap. Okay, well I'm not going to the courtyard. The apartments they're heading into. No,
I don't think we have a choice.
Stop making me push a big red button that's not in Sybil's character.
Do it in my stead.
No, you do it.
What are you doing?
I'm not there.
What if I nudge you to press the button? Edlynnne wants to.
Would Edlynnne press the button?
Then go push the button.
Edlynne's in a rageful mode.
What are you doing,
Sybil?
Okay, so they're heading into the apartments. The doors presumably
be heading towards one of the apartments. One of the doors literally opens as they go towards it.
Okay. In which case, are there alleyways that are on the outside of this apartment complex that look in, or is it so? You've got the central courtyard.
It appears to be completely shut off. The only way in or out is through the gate. There are doors that lead into the apartments from the opposite sides of the building, but otherwise it is just the gate itself.
Right. Okay, and there's no one else on the streets?
Apart from the
Except
workers,
from...
apart from the workers and the figure on the far end.
Okay. Fucking fine. I'm gonna head over towards the open gate and head into the courtyard, avoiding the bird cage. This is from a distance, avoiding all windows as well, trying to head over to the courtyard as subtly as I can. Walk in and then duck down after they've entered the building, duck down under the windows and try and head into another apartment building. Yeah, I'm not going to go into the same one, but I'll head towards another door and hope that it's not occupied or locked. Oh, fuck.
Make your way in.
Bad
You
idea.
break from your alleyway and make your way onto the street. Almost immediately, Edlynnne and Lottie, you see Subil making his way out of a previously unnoticed alleyway.
Can I say, if I notice him walking towards the apartment, that I'll just start following?
As I'm walking across the road, I'm going to gesture just like that for them to stay back.
Yeah, I kind of don't trust Sal. So Edlynn's got her own words to speak for Juliana, and she doesn't trust the figure.
Yeah, but I prefer if... Well, okay. Sybil's mindset is if one of us is going to capture, might as well not be all three of us at the same time. But But of course, all I'm doing is gesturing like that. That's all the information you're going to get.
Yeah.
So
all I'm saying is that
that's what I'll do.
Edlynn's going to ignore it. So
fair.
You head straight through that gap, walking through the small gateway into the courtyard. The bird cage still lies under the tree. You pay that no mind and just start twisting around, heading to one of the other one of the other doors near the one they entered. As you cross around, as it's purely open ground and you don't really have a way of avoiding any of the windows, you cross over, passing the birdcage through the rain that continues to beat down around you. You hear this, a moment passes as you go, and you hear the sound of a gate slowly closing and rattling as a lock is just pulled across.
Yeah. I'm just going to stop and turn around.
Stop in dead place, turn around and look just to see the gate you've entered through has just been closed behind you and locked. Or more precisely, just the handle pulled across. Nothing is stopping you getting back out, not from an immediate glance. You just look over at it and then back to the doorway, which where you saw them enter through. As the door opens,
fuck, man.
A woman steps out.
Yeah.
In heavy inquisitorial robes and lowers their hood. Looking at both you, Edlynnne, and Lottie, as you've all kind of traipsed in together.
Okay, I did. That's fine. I was scared.
Her soft auburn eyes lock on each of you for a moment as she just gestures over at the birdcage. And the woman who you've never seen before. There's a message in there.
Oh,
as she just steps back out and closes the door.
Oh no. I'm just gonna chain in hand and be like, Subil, you should open the door.
Whoever she was, as she just closes the door after muttering her words, she was very close to Juliana. From a distance, you would say the same person. The eyes were the wrong color. Her teeth weren't stained with cigarette smoke.
How?
I'm just gonna
Fuck.
chain in like the small chain in her hand and just be like, just looking at the cage, and then that Subil will be like,
I guess Sybil's just gonna keep an eye on the woman and just say, it's not going to explode if I open it, is it?
She just looks, shrugs, and closes the door.
Is she on the outside of the door? She's
She's gone back inside at this point.
So we're just alone in the courtyard.
You're just
Jago,
alone in the courtyard with the rain and your own reflections.
Who closed the gate?
You don't know. Whoever it was, they moved past very quickly.
I just want to ask, very quickly, just want to ask. Did I go in first and then Lottie and then the gate closed?
It was only once you crossed over the entirety of the courtyard and made your way to the door that it closed. So Subil would have had to literally go past the both of you to get in. So you would have trailed around pretty much immediately behind him.
Okay. Well, I'll kind of just be like, I can open it if you want me to. If you don't want to.
Leaving just the bird cage in the center.
I bet it's pending. I bet he's dead. I bet that's the message.
Do you want me to if that's the case, do you want me to open it?
If it is pending, I'm literally gonna dance. Oh my god.
I really hope it's not like one of Sam's fingers or something. That would make me very upset.
Subil is gonna walk over and take the cover off of the cage. He's pressing a big red button.
You pull the cover off, revealing the soft white feathers of pending lying dead at the bottom of the cage. A single note wrapped around its leg.
What's on the note? Sybil's gonna open the cage slowly.
You just unravel it
Take the note.
and sign, and in the same handwriting as everything you've ever received from Juliana before are a sparse few words reading, "You had your chance."
Well, pending.
He was a war hero.
He was.
You weren't shit.
He betrayed us time and time
So
again.
many times. I fucking hate this bird.
I'm literally. I think I'm just gonna stand.
Too
there.
soon, man. Too soon.
Edlynn's literally
Give me
gonna
some
stand
time
there.
to process the grief.
I mean, Edlynn's-
what? This guy was backstabbing us.
Edlynnne is just gonna stand there and just be like. I mean, he did betray us quite a lot, honestly.
Not now, Edlynnne. Not now.
Well, I mean, you kind of got us into this mess anyway, so.
Well, maybe you should
Lottie.
get us out of it. Where are we going? What are we doing?
Lottie, still in the rain, just kind of looks down at the bird and then over to Subil. Just patch you on the shoulder.
I'm going to pull away nice and quickly.
Can I do? Actually, I have a check in mind for you, Ben. Can I do an insight tactics check to see if there could be like people like with potential guns or stuff in the windows to see?
Go for it.
Because you know,
Difficulty 1.
Definitely people with guns in the
there's
windows.
definitely that. But I want to.
Yeah,
Oh, that
it's
is
good to check.
Oh, that's a free. Because I'm using military tactics. I'm going to guess military tactics works. Yeah, so that's a free. So that's a crit anyway. And then my other dice fell, so I'm re-rolling it. And a 7, so 3 passes in total. Look at her doing something good for something she's made for. Yes.
Nice.
Finally.
And that's
run
2
a
momentum as well.
check over the area, looking up and around, and you know full well that if you wanted to put a group of people in an area to kill them with the least amount of difficulty, this is exactly where you do it.
Yeah.
And as you look through each of the windows in turn, one of them kind of, as you're glancing around, one does open. One of the curtains being pulled apart quite rapidly. It causes you immediately to reach for your chain as you just see an old woman just pulling the curtains aside and leaning out to look at the rain, holding a small cup of tea. You glance around and it becomes damningly obvious that there's no one here waiting for you.
I'm just gonna.
You are ignored.
Yeah, I'm about to say I'm gonna. Knowing that, I'm gonna look at Subil and be like, I think we were the fucking distraction. We need to go to the others now.
Sybil's just gonna blank and just gonna go and lean up against the tree and slide down it until he's sitting in wet mud. Just kind of go on.
Yeah, he does that. Edlynn's literally just gonna, not even caring that he hates to be in touch, just grab his hand, pull him up, and be like, "Get the fuck together."
No. Oh, not cool. No. Yeah. Very much pull away, very, very quickly. No.
Yeah.
That's a no.
Edlynn's not gonna give a shit. You need to get the fuck up, like right
now. Sybil's just gonna stray away, pull away, and just say, "Look, if you want to go, you go. What help would I be anyway? Just go."
Well, I'm not. No offense, well, I'm not leaving. We've lost too many of the group for me to leave you here. So either you get your ass up and we all go, or I'm blaming everyone else's deaths on you and hating you for the rest of your life. So, and then you're stuck with me for the rest of your life. So you're gonna hear a lot of me nagging you about it. So I'd get up. We'll find you a new bird if you want, but get the fuck up.
In which case, Sybil's gonna take a feather, take one of Pending's feathers, just slip it into his coat.
Yep.
And he's just gonna just slowly walk over to the gate and unlatch it and walk out, heading towards an alley where he's gonna try and disappear from everyone, including Edlynnne and Lottie. Just gonna try and slip into the streets, away from everyone. Heading probably in the general direction of the docks, of Dawn Docks, but not making any attempt to stay with Edlynnne. In fact, making an active attempt to escape both Lottie and Edlynnne.
Okay.
Without any words.
Making use of your street kid truth. You step away and make your way into the alleys. Lottie kind of holds Edlynnne back a moment and just kind of looks directly into your eyes. You give him his time.
We don't have time, Lottie. You don't.
Give him his time. Trust me.
Fine, whatever. We just don't have the time to fucking give. Fine. Yeah, I think Edlynn's just going to start walking, honestly, to be fair. I think she's lost enough, or like at least seen enough of her friends to die to know that Subil leaving is somewhat of a death sentence. So she just if Sybil's going to actively walk off, she's just not going to really care that much anymore.
The two of you walk in separate directions. Subil, you head into an alleyway and just disappear. Edlynnne, you start walking back the way you came. The figure that was watching you from a distance has disappeared, long gone. And Lottie just kind of stands in the middle of the street watching the both of you go, before also heading off into the rain. Back in the bubbling brew, after finishing your long, difficult talk and watching as the newly or recently woken up Eli, Max, and Kurt chat in the corner and spark up a small cigarette to share between them, including bringing Jack over quite eagerly. The small group of you kind of stand inside the warmth of the room, and smiling, enjoying your time, and just waiting for the others to come back. You hear a worryingly damning sound of a key turning in the front door lock.
Campbell.
I will grab a chair and put it underneath the door so the door won't open. As quietly as possible.
Yeah. Quietly, yeah. Make me a agility stealth check, please. Difficulty 2.
Agility stealth?
Yeah.
That's fine. I just need... Yeah, I think I can do it. How much momentum have we got on the... whatever? 0. Okay.
No, we
No, I made 2, didn't I? I got 2 and that and all that.
We've got at least 2.
So 2. May I use 1?
Yeah.
Okay, sure.
Okay, so that's 1 fail, 1 pass, and the last one is pass. So that's 2 passes.
You grab a chair and just slide it in under the door, locking it in place as the handle the key twists, and the handle starts to descend, stopping on the top of the door. And you just see this figure through the kind of obfuscated glass, just moving on the other side, and you hear a low, Go it.
I'm mouthing to the others, being like, we haven't planned this. Where? Oh,
the figure steps
got it.
away from the door.
Yeah, wait, we start heading to the back door.
Yeah.
The figure steps back, and as you kind of go around the counter, you kind of reach the back door, and just through one of the rear windows, you see a fairly old man making his way.
Get another chair and put it under that door.
How quickly does this old man move?
Really old man.
And then I'm going to look at everyone and just go,
as you all just bail out, immediately rushing to the front door, swinging that open. As you go out, you hear the back door, just someone kind of leaning through a window, just kind of looking through a window. You don't hear him, but you glance back to see the expression of this maybe 60-year-old man, is a very thinly trimmed beard, old glasses just kind of perched on the end of his nose, just looking through and going,
I would have thought we had a blind
disappear out into the street.
Yeah.
Into the rain that awaits you.
Shit.
As you vanish out into the streets, Kurt, Eli, and Max immediately just kind of ushering you in a very specific direction. Across the city, the others start slowly making their way back, or at least Edlynnne and Lottie do, I assume. Slowly making their way back towards it. And on another road, making their way back towards the Protectorate office, hidden beneath the dark black cloak that they were wearing, Juliana takes another cigarette, drops it into the puddle.
Close.
And
that'll do it.
wiping the water from under her eyes, steps back into the Protectorate office. And that is where we will leave it for this week.
I call bullshit.
Fuck, I knew it.
Once again, thank you for staying with us and following us through Chalice the Twilight Roads. We want to extend our thanks, as always, to our wonderful sponsors. Jago, go for the dice. Go, 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 go.
I got dice. So, we got North Foundry, big boy, big heckin' chonker. We gotta love it. Honestly, it's a big boy. You make big noises. Love that stuff. Ben, give me another one. I'll get the dice for them.
Well, first and foremost, that was North Foundry, you said, my friend. So,
yeah.
If you're a fan of, as Jago so eloquently put it, big heckin' chonky boys,
we all?
also head on over to North Foundry, which makes some wonderful artisan dice. Big chonky.
Artisan.
And if you'd like to get your own, you can use the code TIO15 at the checkout for 15% off there. Let's go over to Mithril Armory. Go.
Shit. Then. Bang.
Oh, come on.
Okay. Oh, that's quite nice, actually.
Ooh,
That's
Nice, shiny, wonderful.
good colour.
That's purple. I like purple.
That's colour.
And if you too would like your own lovely purple, slightly translucent, and any other type of dice that they may provide for you, you can head on over to Mithril Armory and use the code INITIATIVE for 10% off of their web store. And of course, last but by no means least, made by the Initiative Order's very own Taryn. Jago, Umbroculus dice, please.
Yep. Umbroculus.
I've already got it prepped.
Yeah, I need to get shit right. Yeah, that's set up. Nice clear boy. Got a nice bit of black swirliness going on there with red numbers. It's very pretty.
We're just going to get you to start taking photos and showing them.
Oh yeah.
But again, as I say, hand-tooled by the Initiative Order's very own Taryn. You can get your own Umbral Oculus dice at their store and use the code INITIATIVE for 10% off a full set of dice whenever you need them. And finally, if of course you do like dice, but you also want to show that you like dice because you show that you like tabletop RPGs, if you wander over to Roaming Player Gear, Session Zero Clothing, do apologise there. You can get your own D&D inspired streetwear there and use the code ORDER at the checkout for 15% off.
At some point, I am planning to buy the hat because the hat's cool. So maybe at some point this will be changed and we'll have clothes and dice to show you.
Ooh, all of the
We'll have clothes.
I wonder
really hope I can wear those throughout.
All of those. No.
Okay, good. Just a check.
But just a quick run through for everyone as we say goodbye for the evening. Lynn, who are you and where can we find you?
Hello, I am Lynn. I'm also known as Pontu for Pantoffles or Pan, whichever's easiest, probably just Pan. I stream. I also have an Instagram. I'll pop that in chat. Give me a click and a follow. I am currently working on a Magic the Gathering piece for our very own Lord and Savior Danny, who runs this mess for us.
All hail Danny, our Lord and Savior.
All hail Danny.
Don't call it a mess. That's how we get back.
We're all members of the Church of Danny here.
And now we're starting a cult.
Yeah, we're starting a cult now. You can join our cult. It's great.
Cult of
Thank
Danny.
you very much, Lynn. Holly, who are you and where can we find you?
Hi, I'm Holly. Who am I? That is a great question to ask.
Time for an existential crisis.
I wasn't going existential, don't worry.
I am. What was I saying? Shit.
Music,
yes.
Holly, music.
Music, that's it. I make music. What you guys don't know is that I subject you to my music every week with the intro. So, if you hate the music, then that's fine. I don't really care anymore. I am slowly working on more music. Can't tell you when it's coming out. Can tell you that if you like sad bops that you can cry to when it's raining, then that's what I'm doing at the moment, because why not? you can find me on Instagram at Holly ID Healey, and I forgot my Twitter handle, so you don't get to have that today, sorry. Someone else take over before I talk off people's ears. I've had too much caffeine.
Max, who are you? Where can we find you?
Hi, I'm Max. You'll find me on Instagram on you'll find me on Instagram at YallopMax. Yeah.
Good.
It was concise. I like it.
To the point.
It's
I like
to
it.
the point, bullet points, isn't it? Yeah.
And Billy, same question.
Hello, I'm Billy, playing Subil. I'm not really on the internet except in this little box every week, so you'll see me here. I say every week I'm slowly working on a big world building project, so I might stream, might do some videos, who knows? You'll have to come back next week to see if I've got off my ass and actually done it. Hopefully it'll be soon, but I don't know. If not, just come back and see Subil slowly abandon grasp of reality and logic and just give himself over to chaos. It might be entertaining.
It would be a release.
I just like to imagine there's somebody out
Honestly,
there waiting for this world building project, just marking days off.
Yeah.
Someone's got a crazy board.
Just like
One day.
Yeah.
And
One day.
as always, I've been Ben. You can find me anywhere and everywhere as Try Again Ben. I do this. I am a project manager over at Modifius. And of course, Jago still exists, so I'm going to double back.
I was going to say.
Jeez.
No, I'm just going to let that hang and see if he noticed. Hello, I'm Jago. The resident dice goblin, they do let me out of the cupboard under the stairs to be on the internet in this space only.
Well,
then I have to go back to the. Then I have to go back to the cupboard.
Yeah.
So
That's you're not.
Sorry.
Yeah. He likes. He likes the cupboard, okay?
Yeah.
I
Ignore
really
it.
It's safe for him.
He loves
Yeah.
the cupboard.
No.
We even gave him
Really
an
wanna see-
espresso.
I
Yeah,
want to
exactly,
see the
yes.
world.
He's
We
got a
gave
coffee
him
machine in there. It's great.
Yeah, we gave him his first
I
bit of
just
food the
want
other
to
day. He
see
loved
the
it.
world.
Yeah, usually he
Please
just
help.
eats moss.
Yeah,
Yeah.
He
Occasionally
I
just throw
haven't
that
had a
chicken nugget.
solid
Yeah,
meal in 3 weeks.
yes, you have.
We fed you 2 days ago, I think.
He loves
Don't get
his.
greedy.
He loves his cupboard. That's all I'm saying.
We have been, of course, at Chalice Twilight Roads once again, and thank you very much. See you next time.
Bye.
Bye, like, yo, wish us luck. We're all gonna die next week,
Oh my
I'm sure.
God.